as many, W's as we had on this road, even with our other business, we've had maybe triple the amount of L's.
The minute you say, I need help, you dropped your ego. You finally said it. How many entrepreneurs do we know that won't drop that ego and say, I'm gonna do this myself?
I want to ask you guys something you guys always ask other people. Does money buy happiness?
Ultimately, yeah, money does buy happiness. How you make it and how you spend it. Those are the two big points that I think need to be addressed when asked that question. Welcome back to the Millennials Choice Show. My name is Anthony Sorella. I'm here with my co-host.
Yeah, here we go.
Ernesto Gaita. Guys, this is going to be a banger of an episode, okay? You're probably looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? And who the hell is this guy?
Yep.
Don't worry, we're going to get into that, okay? But first, if you're here, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. We take any comments, eh? Just get the algo going, you know what I mean? And for all our listeners, make sure on Spotify or Apple, leave us a review, 5 stars. Because we're the fucking Millennials Choice Show, the only show. Okay?
Yeah. The only show.
The only show. What's up, gents? What's going on?
That was an intro, man. That was a great intro.
Pretty good, eh?
I appreciate it. Shout out your channel too. Where's your channel? Yes.
We are the MBH Podcast, Money Buys Happiness. Subscribe, hit us, do whatever. Just DM us, whatever you want. We're easy. We take any interaction, eh? We'll take whatever.
And that's a humble brag, but at the same time, like you guys just passed 100K subs.
Yes,
you get your plaque yet?
Yeah.
Or what?
They're ordered.
We just ordered them.
Yeah. So they're coming in.
Fired up.
So it's true that YouTube gives you that plaque. That's the first one you get for free.
So yeah, we had to buy. Yeah, so we got one for free, and then bought one for him, bought one for our day one Jay, and then another one of our day ones Dean. So just guys who have been with the show since the start.
How much does it cost?
The silver plaques are $130 per plaque after. So the first one's free, and then the rest of them are $100.
How many more can you order?
That's not bad.
I mean, you probably could
order me one.
Yeah,
you just get fucking 20 of them. We'll just get a bunch of them. Christmas gifts. No, I'll just give someone a YouTube plaque.
Sign it.
Our YouTube plaque.
Yeah.
Sign it. That's a good idea.
It's a good idea, dude.
Yo, the giveaway one's not a bad idea. Signing them.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. I gotta fucking order more than
or you graffiti it with the Money Buys Happiness logo and stuff. We know
He's always got the.
Are we having a podcast or a brainstorm session?
Why not?
Yeah, this is consulted right now.
I'm down, bro. I'm so down. That's a great idea.
Great idea.
Super pumped for the plaque.
Because everyone's so like, all about these plaques, right? Like that's the thing. That's the trophy,
bro. Like I gotta say, like I was fucking horned up when we hit 100K. The number looks nice and everything, but it's the plaque, dude. I'm gonna put that above my bed. Like I'm gonna pray to that thing every night.
That's a huge achievement, bro. Like not a lot of people can say they did that, right?
Yeah,
So
no, for sure.
Huge,
it's big for us, and it's been like almost or over now 3 years in the making. So just a lot of hustle just to get a fucking plaque. You know what I mean?
3 years doesn't seem like a long time though. So like, some people from the outside looking in are gonna see you guys and say, they have it easy. They've always had connections or something like that. Debunk all of that and give us those, tell us about those early days when you guys were first starting it out. Why'd you want to start a podcast anyway?
Yeah. I mean, man, we started the podcast out of just sheer, there was no reason. Like we were pretty much like, we were in the middle of COVID, our marketing agency neighborhood, we kind of lost all our clients. The first budget these businesses cut was marketing, which rightfully so. No one knew like where the world was going.
Yeah.
And so me and him were just sitting in our office, like all just fucking stoned and just like, yo, what the hell are we gonna do? And stoned is an important part of it. Just letting you know. I always say that, but that's the most important part because that's where the ideas come. And then I was just like, dude, like we watched a lot of Gary Vee. Yeah. And he was just like, if you don't have a fucking podcast, what the fuck are you doing?
You're not creating content.
Yeah. And so we're like, dude, let's just start it. And that was like literally it. We just started it. We had no future plan for it, no idea really how we were going to do it. We've never done it before. We've never spoken in front of a camera, with the setup. So we pretty much just bought all the equipment on a whim, spent the money, got our shooters in there, and just went at it pretty much. Like I said, there wasn't really a plan.
No, there's no plan. I think it's right? It's super easy to do something when it's been done multiple times. And I think that was the most difficult part for us, but that was fun for us, not knowing what was going to happen from it and not knowing what the kind of growth that we can experience. So it was a point where we didn't see it being done a lot at all, to be honest. We know of podcasts at that time, but in terms of the short form content, me and Anth were very serious about our personal brands. and growing that. And I think that we knew that having that podcast would add that content for us and give us that exposure. So, but yeah, to what Ant said, we didn't know what to expect realistically. We were doing it as a content play, and it was just like time waster. Like we needed
Let's see
something
where
to
it
do.
goes.
Yeah,
It's
dope.
dope though, because
Yeah.
you're investing in yourselves, saying, you know what, let's see where this can take us. We don't really want to limit necessarily what we're going to be doing, but let's just put out the content, push it out, and then see, you know, what the vibe is.
And it sounds easier when you say it like that, but it's still very difficult because you have to put yourself in a position to like be judged by people.
Well, man,
You know?
like, if you go back and watch our first maybe 5 to 10 episodes, we were getting sauced. We would come with 2-3 bottles of wine, get drunk mid episode just so that we were more comfortable. Like it was crazy, right? And then like we even did an episode with 2 of our good friends and brothers, Stefan and Conrad Calabrese. Like maybe that was like episode 5 or 6. And they brought a bottle of Hennessy, like a 2.6 of Hennessy. We drank the whole bottle.
Boys, I got a whole bar over there.
Within 15 minutes. Yeah, within 15 minutes.
Bro, like literally 20 minutes in, this bottle's done, and
We
we're
got a
just
whole bottle.
sauced.
We got a whole bar over there. Eh?
We're gonna get to it after the
We got lots of stuff.
And that's the thing. Those are the things that you learn, right? You just learn. Okay, you learn about yourself. You learn about like your audience. You learn about what kind of content you like making. And I think that at that point we were just really just learning about us as podcast hosts and also what people wanted to see. We probably cared less about what people wanted to see at that point, but
But
Yeah.
you make a good point. It was more about, and I think you guys can probably attest to this as well. Like you learn a lot about yourself because again, you have to sit in front of a camera, a microphone, speak, put your opinions out there to the world, and put your thoughts out there. And then you got to post them on social media. You don't know who's watching. You don't know what they're thinking of you, and that's a very hard hill to get over. Is like, fuck, I'm gonna put this out. I think this about this. What are people gonna say about me? Then you put it out for the first couple. You see it getting shares, and you're like, fuck, people are talking. I wonder, is it good? Is it bad? Like, you know what I mean? You never know. Like, what at that point. So that was a really big moment, I think, for both of us, just to like, we were building our personal brands, but it was always very like positive and so then to make that switch of like, okay, this is actually like how we think about certain things. That was like the big step of like, I would say personal growth, because then you have to learn like people are not gonna like what you have to say, and you're gonna keep saying it. You know what I mean?
You got to be okay with it.
Correct.
Yeah,
exactly. So that was a big thing for us.
Our first videos in September of 2020 were vlog styles.
Okay. Right on.
So I used to watch $1 Million Listing New York.
Yep.
Ryan Serhan's doing his thing. I felt like he was the biggest one on social, and he's doing a lot of vlog styles. And I'm like, I got some interesting stuff I could show people. Why not? Like we had one episode where we got a call from a builder. He's like, you got the whole floor of units, sell them. And we sold like 6 or 7 units on the phone that day. And it's on the vlog. It's like good, it's
That's
good
cool.
content,
That's cool.
but you're just starting out. So, I learned, okay, I don't really like so much the full episode being a vlog. Maybe we could do a little bit of vlog leading up to the episodes. You start changing, but then we never had a podcast. I was like, this is silly. Like we're recording the content, the visual. Usually you start podcast first.
Yeah.
And then
work into vlogs. Yeah.
we're doing this and we're doing it backwards. And I'm like, let's do the podcast.
Yeah.
Why not? It's there.
You gotta try things out. That's the thing. You gotta try it out to know, right? And I think that's something that we did a lot of, trying a lot of different things and failing so many times, and starting a new brand or business and thinking this is it. This is gonna be the one. It's gonna change everything, and then but you look back and you're just like, wow, all those failures, they were all for a reason, right? Sounds cliche, but yeah, you have to try different things. You have to. So even going back to you guys trying out the vlog, if you didn't, maybe you wouldn't have a pod.
That's true. Yeah.
Or I could have just gave up and said, it's
Well, you
not
could have
working.
given up
It's not
after
working
1
out.
or 2 episodes or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And given up. But it's really just about what you feel inside and what you want to do, right? Once you kind of eliminate all the numbers and the views and this and that, then you start enjoying yourself and you feel less pressure as well. I think that's something that we got better at too, kind of putting the pressure off us to just worry about the numbers. Obviously, it pays the bills, right? Yeah. But you also have to just remember that why you started. And that's something we always try to remember.
Yeah, we actually had a conversation on the drive here, just because we're in a transition stage for the pod. We want to try different things.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to try different things. We want to build out.
Not the one you're talking. Not the popular one. We're doing the less popular one.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
always go the road less traveled. So
We're different. We're unique.
Yeah, we're in that sort of stage right now, and we were actually just having a conversation saying how we started the podcast with the mindset of like, who gives a fuck what the numbers are. Then we got to a point where all we cared about was the numbers. And then now we're coming back to the point where it's like, who gives a fuck about the numbers again?
Yeah.
We've sat in front of some of the most interesting people we thought we'd never meet. And the episode, gets 200,000 views, 50,000 downloads, whatever. And then the next, the next week we're sitting in front of somebody equally as brilliant. The conversation is equally as amazing. And the episode gets 3,000 views,
right?
Compared to the 300,000 last week. And that's hard at the beginning to be okay with, because again, you're chasing views, but we're like, nah, man, we got to get back to like, who gives a fuck? If the episode got 500 views, who gives a shit? If it got fucking 20, who cares, right? And I think when you move back into thinking that way from a podcast perspective, or even just content in general, that that it's the long-term play.
Yeah.
So instead of like just shooting up 90-degree angle and then all of a sudden you're right back down, it's that slow build, right? And we realize that's how we got here in the first place. So we need to go back to that thinking, right? And that's I think that's how
That's a part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's business. That's how business works. You're gonna have leaps and valleys. It goes both ways, right? So
it's also about goal setting too. Like we always kind of go back to the table and like we'll revisit our goals every week, every day if we need to, right? Because things are moving so fast. So depending on the types of goals that you make, that's going to eventually decide the type of mindset that you have on a day-to-day, right? So if our goal is to have 10,000 episodes, we're not going to overthink about episode 45, right? We're not going to die on that bridge. We're not going to worry about that, right? We're going to keep it moving, right? So I think if you have that at the back of your head, it's kind of like the same thing when you say, hey, I want to be a billionaire, right? And right now, maybe you're worth 3-4 million, and maybe something small really bothers you. If that's going to really bother you, you're not ready to be a billionaire anyways. So I think we kind of always go back to that. Hey, what's the goal? I mean, me and him always talk. So it's like, we're not going anywhere. We're going to have this podcast forever. I don't see it ever ending.
Right.
So when it comes to guests, when it comes to numbers, when it comes to monetization, if it doesn't come today, it'll come another day. It's fine. Right. So we keep it going like that. And you have to have a structure in place to be able to still have that mindset and not worry when something maybe doesn't make as much money as you thought.
100%. We talk about that a lot on our podcast when it comes to having that mindset of long term, right? A lot of people these days, you guys know them, they want everything now, right? They want to, put in a workout and have abs right after. Yeah. That's not how it works,
but you have to set goals that you actually are in control of.
Yeah.
People set these goals where they just think things are going to fall from the sky, right? Where it's like, you start a podcast and within 1 year you want to hit 100K subs. It's probably not going to happen no matter what you do realistically. There is a chance if you hit some sort of algorithm or you do some sort of viral content.
Sure.
But other than that, it's a long-term play, right? So yeah, I think a lot of people need to look at it that way. I think a lot of people just look at what they see online and they think, like you said, people look at us and think we got it quickly, or vice versa with you guys. And that's just not the case. So people really need to dig deep into their inner self and just see what their possibilities are. Going back to goals, we're not going to set a goal, a number-based goal. We could set a content-based goal because we are in control of that.
Yeah.
Like how many videos you're going to create.
We need to pump out 30 episodes the next 3 months. Yeah. That's something we have control of.
Yeah.
What kind of guests do we want? We want half female, half male. We can control that.
Yeah.
We want someone from every industry. We can control that. Can I control if that episode does 20,000 views? No, I can't. Maybe we could do as much as we can with the thumbnail, the title, all these things.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. We'll still try.
We'll try our best, but we know at the end of the day what we're in full control of.
Yeah.
And what we need a bit of faith for.
Well, the counter argument to that is like the videos you may have not thought would have done so well did well. Mm-hmm. So it's the algorithm. Those are things outside of your control.
Of course, but then how are you using all those resources that you're pouring into YouTube now and spreading them out? So that all your eggs are not in one basket. If that YouTube video doesn't do that well on YouTube, how did it do on Instagram? Did it do okay? Did it do better on TikTok? Did it get some exposure on TikTok?
Yeah.
Did it do on Snapchat, Facebook? So there's always ways to look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to goal setting, you just have to be realistic as to what your current resources are, your mindset, your knowledge, and build from there. don't base it off of just numbers sometimes or money. Maybe base it off of how many hours you're putting in or your work ethic too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like see Mr. Beast and they're just like, okay, I want to be like him.
That's
you know, and
it's very
extremely-
difficult, man. Like that's extremely hard. He hit the algorithm in the perfect time, right? Like he was a part of your YouTube early, right?
There's videos. It's funny, like because we'll study creators, we'll study other podcasts, just see what
Yeah,
they're
of
up
course,
to
yeah.
try and understand, like, okay, what did they do that worked? How can we implement it? Even if it's on a podcast, what did Mr. Beast do here, here, and here? How can we maybe implement that in what we're doing? And it's funny, like just mentioning Mr. Beast. There's a video of him saying Logan Paul. I don't know if it was 100,000 times, and he literally sat in front of the camera for like 12 or 18 hours, whatever it was. It's a YouTube video. The video is like
You can go back and you
the
can
video
go
is like
back on his
18
page.
hours long,
Yeah.
and he's sitting there and he's like Logan Paul for 12 hours
Yeah.
straight.
And it cracked.
No,
the-
it was just an algorithm crack, and he just fucking like I guess the title was that, and people are like, wait,
the
there's no
title's
way.
like saying Logan Paul,
And now people
100,000
are
times or something.
scrolling through the whole video because they want to see in the 19th hour if he's still saying it. So now they're watching more of the video, and you're going back and you're saying, no fucking wonder this guy where he is where he's at. I would have never done this.
Like, look what he's
That's
thinking
pretty
about.
smart. I
That's
honestly never would have thought that
innovation
either.
like beyond belief, right? So I think like you can't copy those guys. You could take you take some stuff from them. Okay, what they do with the thumbnail are Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast, right? We got to make our own. We got to make our own brand out here.
Yeah.
But again, we love to take inspiration from different people.
Sure, of
'Cause
course.
people have done it right for many years.
Yeah.
You don't have to fucking reinvent the wheel sometimes, you know?
So when I started the channel, I was like, okay, I want to follow like the Patrick Bet David blueprint.
Amazing.
Right?
Best blueprint to have.
Best blueprint
Yep.
because I said, okay, 11 years. At the time it was 8 or 9 years we were in the business.
Okay.
And I said, we've established ourselves. Like after 5 years, if you do it the right way, you're established. Now you start building.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, we have that base, that foundation. So I do want to be on YouTube to educate our audience and our podcast to educate our audience on real estate and finance and stuff like that. I said, but we got to make it go viral. That stuff is boring. Like unless you're doing like a Serhant, you got, I don't know how many $1 billion building that you're trying to sell. Like people want to tune into that. I said, what did Patrick do? Because he was an insurance broker. So what did he do? And then, you start seeing his popular videos are the mob guys.
Yep.
I'm like, mob guys insurance. What does that have to do with anything?
Right?
Yeah.
I said, all right, I already know I'm going to get a lot of heat. And I did. I got a lot of heat from different organizations, non-for-profits here that were affiliated with on the Millennials Choice side when I brought on Francis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was the first guy. Our channel had like 10 subs.
Yeah, but
he
it
said
blew
yes.
after that.
We monetized off just that one interview. And you know what the interview was? I was at my old office. I think there was the Millennials Choice letters were behind me in the boardroom. Zoom. Carson wasn't even here. Like it was just me and him.
Yeah.
And I finished the recording and I sent it to Carson.
Crazy.
And it did well. It did really well. And some people were commenting. I was responding to every comment.
There you go.
And
Good
the-
community
and-
management.
Even now,
Yeah.
today. And one guy was like, a few people were like, this is a bot channel. Like this, there's no, how did they get this guy to
Some
do
bot
it?
channels.
Yeah, they
I
called
never
it-
heard that
called
one
it a-
before.
Yeah. And all the comments like were being responded to. So they were just like, oh, but then I said, all right, so now YouTube is going to pick it up as like you interview these guys. So throw in the real estate, throw in different guests or
But I don't even
whatever.
think YouTube minds that though. I think they like those guys.
They need it.
Yeah, that's
they
what I'm
need
saying.
it to
That's
sell
what I'm
ads
saying.
too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so
100%.
there's
They
this
get a lot
like
of views.
fine line. You get a lot of views.
Well, I think
Yeah.
the like a good takeaway from like you being in that position and what you did with that was like you removed any sort of feeling of like imposter syndrome. You're like, yeah, I'm in the real estate game, but fuck it. I can interview a fucking mobster. Like I don't need to be anybody. I don't need to be Piers Morgan or fucking Logan Paul to interview someone like this. Like I can interview whoever I want.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Why not, right?
But
how
that's
far
but-
can you take it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's a hump that people, especially with starting podcasts or creating content that's, face to the camera is like, oh, but am I really a professional in this? Am I really the best real estate agent? Am I really the best podcaster? Am I really the best marketer? And people get nervous like, oh, if I'm not the best, then I shouldn't be allowed to talk about it. It's like, hell no. Just because this guy's been in the industry 10 years, you've been in 3, you still may have some experiences and knowledge that after 10 years, he doesn't have.
Yeah.
And vice versa,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's important. But dude, making like, what a fucking catch. Because to be able to think like, yo, let me interview Francisi is insane.
I was trying to remember like a few days ago, actually. I'm like, you got to start slowing down, like in terms of being in the moment. Like we got you guys on You guys are legends. We have other legends on. As you said earlier, there's people you would have never thought you would have interviewed. Like low key, you guys are fans of a lot of people you interview.
Bro, so many.
All
of them.
us
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we're fans. We don't want to glorify some of the stuff they did, but before, when I was in university, my major was law and society. I had an organized crime course.
Crazy.
I learned about Francis in that course.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
That's fucking sick.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and then the Netflix thing came out and I was like, oh, Francis. So I reached out I was trying to think, who did I reach out to in those early days? He was the only one who responded.
Yeah.
And he responded directly. Like,
Wow.
and until this day, Lisa, you met Lisa or spoke to Lisa.
Yep.
They're like, yeah, Francis just has taken a liking to you. And
What we noticed too with bigger guests too, like a Francis for you guys, for example, like they really feel energy. Like they really understand like, hey, this person's a good guy. I'm going to go on this guy's podcast. It's crazy. But when you get to that level, and I guess that you've had so many, I mean, even fake people try to enter your life. Like these guys are huge, right? Like you look at PBD, for example, right?
Yeah.
For him to notice good energy or notice potential. Same thing for Francisi. That's crazy. That's amazing.
It's a huge compliment.
But these guys have that kind of sense. That's why they are where they are.
Exactly.
Does
They've
that make
seen
sense?
through the bullshit. They've had
They've
people
seen
sit
through
in
the
front of them
bullshit.
trying
They've
to sell
seen
them
fake
something.
people. They've seen people that screwed them up. They've seen young people that don't know what they're doing, old people that don't. So when you get that opportunity and someone says, hey, like, you know what? You guys seem like cool guys. I'm going to come on your show.
They're willing to help.
Wow.
They're
That's
willing
like
to
the
help
biggest
you.
compliment you can get.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, one of the
Because-
biggest compliments you guys got, because if you guys haven't watched, midway break or whatever you want to call this, the Patrick Bet David interview, these guys did.
Banger.
Like
Yeah,
banger, fire.
banger.
I bought his book, because of that. So like
Crazy book.
You've
been enjoying it or what?
I've been enjoying
it's
that book
fucking
a
bro.
lot.
You can apply every chapter to your business directly.
no matter what stage you're in.
Yep.
Yeah. No matter what. But you guys need to check out that interview.
And talking on PBD, because you said that was like an inspiration too. I think he
Yeah.
does a great job of not nailing down to a niche. He has never.
He doesn't put himself in a box.
His content is his values. That's it.
Yeah.
Anything he values in business, in family, in mindset, in money, in politics, whatever it is,
Valuetainment.
same tone,
That's it.
same character,
Yeah.
same kind of conversation.
Yeah, one of the biggest compliments that he gave you that I was fired up by it. Like, cause if I affiliate with someone, I'm like, yo, I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, go for it.
Yep.
But one of the biggest compliments, he goes, wait, you guys don't know where you're at yet. Like, you guys are gonna blow up.
Yeah.
He said something along those lines, like you ain't seen nothing yet. And you were like,
Oh, bro.
shit. Like you were like, I could tell. Like
Thought I
you
was
were like,
dreaming, yeah.
For someone like that to say, it's because he knows what it takes to get to the top.
Yes.
He's at
Yeah.
the top.
Yes.
The thing is,
So-
we sat across him and he said that right at the beginning of the fucking interview, like really before we got into the actual conversation. And yeah, like you kind of see both of our reactions. This guy's like smiling like ear to ear, and I'm there
Trying to keep your
and
composure.
I'm trying, but very like I had a serious face, but the feeling I had inside was just like shit.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
That's dope.
I was like, we feel it. But, when we have conversations and we finish these big interviews and we're traveling and we're doing all this stuff and we're building the team, we feel it. We're like, yo, we really think that this could be, again, crazy because we started this podcast with just thinking it was whatever.
Yeah.
Now we've got it to the point that it's at, and we really feel like we could be the best in the world. Like we really truly believe that. Like, and the energy flows. And then to hear someone like him, a guy that we literally look up to, a massive inspiration, say that, you're just like, oh, okay. So there's other people who have done it and are in it at the highest level that believe in us.
And they're
This guy-
confirming that
they're
too,
confirming.
right?
It's a confirmation. And the thing is, you sit there and you say, fuck.
That's
man.
sick.
Because it's crazy because you're like, who are we to this guy? We're fucking nobodies. Like he didn't know us. It came off of cold DMs. He's DM'd him. I've DM'd him. We got responses, and it was always like, here, talk to our assistant to get the pod done. But this guy actually took time on his dad's 81st birthday
Wow.
to come and sit down with us for almost 2 hours. Like,
It's huge.
it was massive. And just for him to know us, he's like, yeah, I looked at your socials. You guys look like great guys. Like, no, I see where you're going. And you're just like, okay, cool.
Sometimes you need that because you guys are the ones leading the ship, right?
Yeah.
So you're the ones motivating your team. You're
Correct.
motivating everyone around you who's motivating you.
Yep.
And the best motivation they say is from within, but you want to hear it from
You want
time to time.
confirmation.
You
Yeah,
want it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for a guy like that to do that, it fires you up.
No, it was huge.
It
man.
fires you
It
up.
was huge. For
It's
us,
crazy. And you know what? For anyone listening, there's most of the time you're not going to get that. You're not going to get someone saying that. Like that's why we were so shocked because we're like, what? We didn't even expect someone to say this.
He
right?
doesn't owe you anything. Like,
He doesn't owe us anything.
That's how you know it's not fake. Though.
Yeah.
Yes. And like you have to remember, like we have a lot of people in our lives, and even the closest people in our lives probably haven't said that to us.
Like literally.
Some of the closest people in your lives are haters for sure.
Well, that too, right?
Let's
We
be
wouldn't even
real.
go there, but like that's for sure, right? But I think that there's a whole other side to that where it's like people will work just to kind of get that satisfaction of someone telling them, hey, you're on the right track. 99% of the time, that's not going to happen. You got to keep going anyways, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got that. We were very lucky to get that. And he was very generous to say that, right? But I think for the most part, when, like you said, when you have to motivate yourself and you're on your own, you know,
and it takes a lot, and you take the burden of the L's. You take them you take them personally. Like as many W's as we had on this road, even with our other business, we've had maybe triple the amount of L's. And like you take that stuff to heart, bro. That you guys know you're business owners.
100%.
Like, every L your business takes is just more weight on your fucking shoulders.
I just took such a big L right before this, and I was pissed. I'm like, this guy, I can't believe that just happened, dude.
Yeah, this guy
something we've been working on for so long.
It took an L that costed him about like $15K in commissions. Crazy. He's been working on it for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
and now he's not
crazy,
going to get paid on it.
And it's like who and like at the end of the day,
take that?
you got to take the L on your own.
100%.
No, it's funny because your W's, you share your W's with everybody.
That's true.
But your L's are your L's and only your L's. And that's the part I think that pushes people away from getting into business or trying new ventures is because
exactly
the W's are great.
Yeah.
As soon as you get that one massive L, 95% of the people drop off because that L's too heavy for them.
That's exactly what separates, us from other people that try to get into it for quick money or whatever the case is, and they're not thinking long term, and then they hit a huge L, and they're like, oh wow, like I don't know if I can do this. And we get hit with L's literally every day, guys.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, let's push forward.
Especially these days where it's like the markets are tightening up, the banks are tightening up, supply is low, prices are still high. Prices are only down like 4 points year over year, but the rates are up.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive to buy. So it's harder to get your clients in. And we're commission based. So it's like you don't earn a paycheck every 2 weeks. Now you guys you own your own business. I always say like, I don't know why people look at us as commission based. We're still a business.
Yes.
We don't get a paycheck every 2 weeks. And it's like when you suffer a loss, what I find is that the wins come and you're like, okay, that felt good, but like on to the next one. You don't really soak in it.
How could we have done better?
How could we have done better?
That's
Even in
the
a
thing.
win.
There's the one.
Like we get the wins, but it's like we really don't I don't know, appreciate the wins as much because we're just like all about how can we get better and do better.
Like what's the next step?
So it's like that's what I think separates like the real winners from the people that win once in a while, where it's like even when we win, how could we have done better? You know, and then
but the losses it lingers longer.
Oh hell
it
yeah,
hurts
tough.
more.
You're gonna go home.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, fuck, 15. I left 15 G's on the table.
I was talking to Matt the other day. I was just so pissed. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, nothing is working out these days. Like I'm working day in and day out, like literally 12 hours. Like wake up 7 in the morning. I'm still on my laptop. It's 10 at night, still working, and wife's saying, when are you going to be done? I'm like, listen, I got to work. Like, this is not a joke. Like we got to live.
To add on to that, besides the fact of like the L's being really heavy, the other thing is we got to be realistic. We're men.
Yeah.
And we take a fucking L and we don't want to go home and cry to our wives.
We don't tell anybody about it.
Dude, we hold that shit internal,
Right
bro.
here.
You drive from the office home and you got fucking Drake in the background or whatever, and you don't hear anything. You're actually not hearing anything. You're just you're sitting there just your 20-minute drive home felt like 2 seconds. You don't even remember driving home because all you're thinking about is the L. You don't go home. You don't tell anybody about it. You internalize it.
So can I share something with you guys that's changed my whole life?
Yeah.
You guys saw James today.
Yeah.
You go home after a day of L's, they go away.
Of course.
You look at him and you're like,
Shout out James, bro.
Yes, Sarah, bring James.
Shout out
up.
James.
I guess
James.
What's
this guy saying?
Oh, dude, I fucking
is Sarah there? Did she step out? Sarah, bring him in for the camera. Let's get him on here.
It's gotta be
amazing.
the most beautiful.
I'm telling nothing. So whatever you guys have issues with, petty stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Out the door.
I
You're
could
like, why did
imagine.
I worry about this shit?
Yeah.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
He's awake. He's awake.
What's up, bud?
Look at this
my
beauty.
gosh.
Get this guy a spro, no?
Beauty. Amazing.
Bubby, who's
What's up, buddy?
Who's this?
That's amazing.
Who's this?
So cute.
Let's go do the intro. Let's go.
Grab the mic and she goes on.
And dude, this kid would. society is telling you get married late.
Yeah.
Don't have biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Biggest
PBD
mistake.
said it,
What's
bro.
up,
PBD
bud?
said
Biggest
it, bro.
mistake. Hi, who is this? Who is this?
Man,
Say hi.
dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
Beautiful, man. You know, having a child, procreating has for some reason lost its beauty in society. And I hate that.
Now it's looked down upon
It's crazy.
in a
I-
lot of
yeah.
different.
You're a rebel if you
groups.
have a kid now.
Yeah.
You guys
I
want
hate
to? You
that.
guys want to hold him, or you?
yeah, bring him here.
bro.
Bring him
Let's
here.
go.
I'm gonna be a papa soon, eh?
He's gonna start practicing.
Dude, amazing.
But yeah, it's crazy what kind of agenda they're pushing nowadays. It's
Oh,
just like,
dude.
like don't have kids and wait and
Yep.
Yeah,
They just
crazy,
want everyone to be a robot, you know?
exactly.
That's the best for them.
yeah,
And the sad part is people buying into it, you know?
100%.
But yeah, I know. Come on, having any sort of L's and then going home to this.
I
to
can
little
imagine.
James.
Yeah, you'll just forget everything.
Bringing it full circle to what you said, I can only imagine because, like I said, as men, we internalize all our fucking issues. We don't tell anybody about it. We handle it on our own, and that's heavy stuff, man. And you know, some people have a stronger mind than others.
Yeah.
And that's just sometimes just DNA, the way you're fucking born and the way, you know, and maybe the way you've been raised. So I can imagine coming home to him must just be like, all right, whatever. Whatever I thought I was worried about is just like, no.
Now it's like the thing that changes. It's like, okay, yeah, you want longevity, you want all those things, but the thing that changes, it's like, okay, if everything else was taken away and he was here and Sarah was here and everything is fine.
Yeah.
Like I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that's what changes because now you're doing everything you're doing now for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's here, it's like now I have someone else to think about.
Everything's for him.
Everything's for him. But you know when some guys say like, oh, now you like a lot of older guys I talk with when we're talking about investments and they go, oh, it's easy for you to do now because you're young, you don't have a family, you don't have a house, whatever. But once you have a family, once you have a house, now you got to be careful. Now you have other, and I go, the feeling I'm not getting that feeling. I'm getting that feeling of I got to turn it up.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I've been putting 100%.
Yeah.
Outside looking in, people might be like, bro, what are you talking about? You're ahead of the curve. I'm like, yeah, but I know where I cut corners.
Yeah, you exactly.
I know.
No one
Yeah.
knows but you. No one's in
Yeah.
that room when you're by yourself, type of thing.
Or
right?
at
Like,
home,
for
or
sure. Yes.
you know how you wake up and all these things, and you're like, then I look at like my physical. I'm like, okay, well my physical I got to get in shape. Like now I'm not in shape physically, right?
Yep.
So there's things that you know about yourself that people don't know. But for me, when I got him, I was like, yo, I'm more motivated than ever now.
Well, there's a study. There's
Yeah.
a study. I don't know the percentages, so don't quote me on it. But men after they have children, like their success rate is like above 50%. So like their business will grow 50% or higher after a child. And I think a lot of it comes down to like what you're saying, but it's actually your brain releases chemicals that make you think differently. There's a whole study on it, Huberman Lab. I'm sure you guys
Huberman
know.
Lab. Yeah, I'm gonna look
You
into
search
that
it up,
study. Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I'm telling you, it's literally scientific. Like,
Well,
it's
it
fucking-
makes sense though because now you have a kid, you know, you have someone else depending on you completely.
Yeah.
It changes your mindset,
Yeah.
right? Completely with those chemicals, right? And you have a different outlook now,
Yeah.
right? And it definitely pushes you and motivates you, and even you know not just in business but in every aspect of life, you know, physical as well too. I'm expecting my first in August.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats,
And
bro.
Thank you.
Got
And
the Cuginos are on the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Love
said
it.
two
Months apart.
twins?
No, just one.
Oh, I think
My
you said.
first
Oh,
one, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and
We're building a soccer team, boys.
Absolutely. And for me, guys, I was like, I need to like get in shape better for myself so I could take care of my family and not to go partying and stuff like that. Like I said, I've already started to settle down, and it's one of those things where going to the gym I found has helped me so much mentally.
Yep.
I would say more than physical.
Yep.
The clarity of mind.
It helps to be so clear because when you go into that gym and you're just focusing on one thing, on yourself, you're able to then, as a result, be like, you know what? Let me filter out all the negative stuff that happened, you know, throughout the day yesterday. Let me start this day fresh and start off strong. And that's what has been helping me a lot. So for me, it's just been life-changing.
Yeah,
Crazy.
100%. And you didn't even have the kid yet.
No, not
What,
yet.
are you getting jacked or what? What are we doing here? Come on.
Trying to fill me up.
No, but that's a huge thing. And even talking about the gym, I think the gym is a good way for people to start goal setting when they don't know where to start. You know, a lot of people start goal setting with business, with money, with this, with that. You should start goal setting with something that you have full control of and you can see the results yourself, right? Without any external, hey, how am I doing? Hey, do I look good? I think the gym is the best way to build some sort of consistency and still learn how to goal set in a smaller way, because like I said, you have full control, right? So after 2-3 months of the gym, you're going to start to see results and you're going to say, hey, oh, this whole fucking goal setting thing actually works.
The positive reinforcement is so real when it comes to the
Right?
gym, because you start to actually lift more.
Lift
so you're
more.
like, wow, that's how I know
You're
this
feeling
is working.
better. You feel better.
You feel so good.
You
right?
look. You feel more confident
And you look
because you're going
good,
to the
exactly.
gym now.
100%.
And then you're saying, okay, so
This is working.
that's an easy way I feel like people could start with goal setting, you know, without saying, okay, I want to build a multi-million-dollar business. Okay, you know what? Take it down a notch. See if we can get ourselves in the gym 5 times a week for the next 3 months and see how that feels. See how that feels on my mind, my schedule, my mindset, everything.
That's advice I wish I heard when I was 18.
Me too.
Honestly,
Me too.
I wish I could go back and
Me
be like,
too.
let's hit up the gym.
Yeah.
Because what was I doing when I was 18? Just having fun, doing nothing real serious, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you had time at that time. You weren't really, focusing on building a business.
Of
right?
course.
But even now it means more, because then you have to make the time.
Now it's like you
So
have
it's like,
to.
fuck, if you got to make sure you're at the office by 8,
Yeah.
buddy, you're up at 5:30 to make sure you get that gym session in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it almost means more doing it at this point when your day is so full.
That's a good
When
point.
your son comes, where it's like, okay, fuck, if I made the time, I actually woke up every day at 5:30, I hit the gym, boom, I was at the office by 8 o'clock. It's like, you feel so accomplished.
Yeah.
And your buddies are probably not even awake yet.
Yeah.
You did the gym.
Yeah.
You had your fucking morning coffee. You spent time with your son, whatever, your daughter. Boom, you're at the office ready to work. The rest of your peers, your colleagues or whatever, they haven't even woken up yet.
That's crazy.
Half your day was done. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
think
for
Dana
real.
White said it on a recent interview he did with Grant Cardone. And he's like, I don't know if it was the Grant Cardone interview. I can't remember. But he said, I'm pretty sure it was that one where he said, for you young guys, like you just put in a little bit of work, like just a little bit of work these days. You're going to just smash your competition because nobody wants to
Nobody
work.
wants to do it.
Nobody wants to work.
And they don't want to actually look inside themselves and say, okay, what do I actually need to fix? Let's say, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're trying to build habits or you're trying to build a routine. What do I actually need to fix? Jordan Peterson, legend.
yeah.
He said, I believe, I'm just paraphrasing it, but I believe he said, the most important things you do are the things you do every day. Okay. So the 15-20% of the things that you do every single day, he's preaching that those are the most important things. If you can nail down those things, the rest is easy, right? So what he's trying to say is that don't look so far when you're trying to goal set or change your life, right? You can start by just sitting down here saying you want to be more organized.
Yeah.
Sit down here, look around. Where do we start?
Yeah.
Put that box in the closet. Clean up the island a little bit.
Yeah.
People just got to start where they can, I think is what I'm trying to get at here, right? And I think a lot of people just, they see online, they see his success, your car, your house, your kid. Holy fuck, how am I going to get all the way there?
I had a good friend of mine the other day come over. He's like, it was
Yeah.
Saturday. I was working.
Yeah.
My final phone call, just before the wedding, my final phone call ended. This guy just comes into my backyard.
Yeah.
He's my buddy. I said, just come to the backyard.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I just feel like I can't get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I go, why? And one thing I got from Tony Robbins a long time ago was, why do you feel unhappy where you're at in life? Because the blueprint you have for your life is not where you're, like what you're doing right now. You haven't achieved those goals. So he's like, well, one way you solve that is you adjust your blueprint.
Yes, you have to.
He's like, so you're thinking mansion, family,
Yeah.
cars, notoriety, whatever.
But you're not there yet.
But you're not there yet.
Yeah. You have to have that conversation when you're closer to that.
Yeah.
You can have big goals, long-term goals, but you also have to have the steps in between to get there, right?
The first book I ever read, first introduction to personal development, first book I read outside of high school was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Yep.
Small, seemingly insignificant victories and choices.
Is that the one, the
lead to it.
1% a day?
Well, that's Atomic Habits.
That's Atomic Habits.
Similar probably idea.
It's all habit
Yeah.
stacking and stuff like that.
Like one step a day till you get to the top, right?
Yes.
And it's like a lot of, you know what? It's not easy though being in Toronto though. We know that. It's not easy. Like to buy a house, if you want to buy a house in Vaughan, a detached house, it's like $2.5 million for like a new one.
Crazy.
$2.5 million. You know what you could get $2.5 million in the States? You're set.
A castle.
But
You're
this is
set.
literally-
The fucking moat,
this is the thing, and
you know?
and to be completely transparent, I feel like so many people here are demoralized by the market, like kids, like maybe even us, like our age and shit like that. I can't ever buy a house. I gotta wait for my grandmother to die. She's gonna give it to my mom. I gotta get it. So I think everyone's just demoralized, you know. But I think that people need to step out of their comfort zone as well, step out of this box that they're in. Because me and him, we went to Miami, for example, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and we never looked back because we wanted to buy a property there. We saw there was a market.
But we saw something realistic. We said, we
Yeah.
went there and said, we can buy a house for $300,000.
Yeah, like you see,
it's
so,
crazy.
but we had to go see it, right? Like we had to go be there,
Yeah.
and then the same people look at us that are demoralized here, and they're saying, "But I can't do that. What you did, I can't go to Florida and do what you."
No, you can't.
It's
Get on a fucking plane.
Get on a
and go.
fucking
do
plane
it.
and you go there, right? Or
Yeah.
go see something else, or go to another city, go in the suburbs, go look at something else just to change your perspective. Because I think a lot of people are just nailed down to the fact, well, I gotta live in Toronto. There's gotta be a way. I gotta live in Toronto. I'll lose my whole life.
Yeah.
I won't even leave my basement for the next 20 years paying my mortgage, but I gotta live in Toronto.
So yesterday we're on a walk and Sarah and I don't believe in buying your principal residence. Guys, it's all we talk about real estate.
Yeah.
I've told my clients, I've told people just my advice. I'll go on record for advice.
Let's go.
Don't need to buy your primary residence.
Yeah.
Like if you buy a $2 million property, you're going to put minimum 20 points down. That's the rule here. So that's $400K.
Wow.
Then you're going to have closing fees, land transfer tax, another $50K.
And then what kind of mortgage is that?
And then a mortgage
It's a
at,
$1.6 million mortgage.
at today's rates, you're looking at 10 to 11 grand a
grand,
month
yeah.
What the
plus
fuck
your
is that,
property
bro?
tax,
Who's-
utilities.
Who's paying that?
Who are you, bro?
Who's
Shooter.
paying that?
Shooter.
Yeah.
But
Right?
so I'm like, okay, what is the same house cost if you rented it? Yeah. $5 grand.
Yep.
So 60 grand a month, a year, and you kept your down payment.
Yeah.
And you're not making that additional payment over and above your 5,000.
Yeah.
So now some people might say, yeah, but you're paying someone else's mortgage and you're not building equity. That's true. But take that 400, the 50K of the
Yep.
closing costs, take the difference in your monthly payment, invest it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Invest it to pay for the house, the
Yes.
rental.
Buy fucking
And you
Apple
keep your
shares.
principal, whatever. And
Yeah.
you keep the principal. So I told my buddy, I go, you're worried about this.
Yeah.
And you're here. Like, don't
Yeah, yeah.
think about that.
Like
Yeah.
you have
Don't
It's
think
different
about
times right now.
Yeah.
Right. The things that we're worried about now, they weren't worried. Like our parents weren't worried about.
No.
We got to worry about a whole different ball of shit, bro. And for someone to buy a house when they're, let's say 25, 30, pay a mortgage now where
It's not that realistic.
where them and their partner are literally just paying the mortgage, no traveling, no this, no that, no that. Then it's about what kind of life the person wants to live.
So I told Sarah
That's
on
what
a
it
walk
comes down to.
yesterday. She loves the house.
Yeah.
I love the house.
Yeah.
I love it, but I'm not emotional to it. Like I'm not tied to
You
it.
can't be
Good.
emotionally to
No.
to investments.
No.
Not today.
Especially in like real estate is like that's how I got into it. I was just investing. So I'm not emotionally attached to any of them. But I said to Sarah yesterday on the walk, I go, oh, look at this guy's landscaping. They just did it so quickly. I'm like, Sarah, get ready. Hey, 3 years. I go, that's the mortgage. It's locked in for 3 years. 3 years, we're selling this shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean? Why you got to talk about that? And I go, look, I want to bank $1.5 million on the house after everything's paid off.
Yeah.
$1.5 million, rent where I live, play with that money and
Yeah.
start building buildings.
Yes. There you go.
I could do it. I know how to do it. It's
Well,
just,
you have a plan.
I have a plan.
You have
for
a
it.
plan. Most people don't have a plan.
I said, Sarah, I'll rent you the nicest house.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay 10 grand a month and rent the house
Yeah.
and rent a baller house
Yeah.
than have this house, have my money in there. God forbid the market crashes. All the equity's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you have that house for? It doesn't
Nothing.
make sense.
Yeah. Now you just have the bricks and they're worth nothing.
Yeah.
But then it ties you down.
Correct.
So
You're
now,
stuck.
so now we want to travel. We want to go to different parts of the world and interview people and this and that. We want to grow the business. How are you going to do that with the house? You're going to feel bad. The house is sitting there and you're paying 10 G's a month.
Exactly.
But guys, the problem is
Doesn't make
like
sense.
the people complain, but they're not looking for answers. They're not looking for help.
Yeah.
No, they just wanna
complain,
give
but
it
they
to them.
think they know. Yeah, they think they know everything. They think they, they're getting screwed and whatnot. Yeah, obviously it's a tough time right now in our market, especially in Toronto. There's people doing it though. People are still figuring it out. They're working. They're hustling. They're making it happen. And they're thinking outside the box. I think a lot of people are just stuck in like one way of thinking, and they're not willing to expand that, right? And to talk to somebody that's been through it and is doing it right now, right?
I just don't think the education system prepares people for
No, hell
these
no.
kind of issues.
But
Definitely
you see
does
what I'm
not.
saying?
But the counter to that, because we always say that, is we have the fucking internet. So
Oh,
like
that's true. That's
anything you want to know.
I'm in traditional education, like
You meant
people
like
that go to
the
school and
school
shit.
system.
No,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
They don't set us up.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I'm saying to counter to that is, I mean, when I went to traditional school, I didn't fucking listen for a second. Anything
Yeah,
I wanted
same.
to learn, I either just went out and tried it or I went to fucking Google and I searched it up.
Yeah.
And I think like circling back to even like the setting these goals and what's your long-term goal and your vision and what you want. I think like I've been trying to sort of like group my thoughts into sort of like how I think people get to where they want to go. And I think there's three main things you need: courage, discipline, and patience. I think Courage starts when you want to start something. You need the courage to start it, like the podcast.
Yeah,
You're all
for sure.
nervous to get in front of the camera. No, you need courage to say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just get in front of the camera, I'm gonna
Regardless.
put it out there and see what happens."
Yeah.
Right. Then you need the discipline to keep showing up every week. Right. No matter what, 1 view, 5 views, 100,000 views, 2,000 views. No matter what, you got to be there every week, bi-weekly, whatever your schedule is.
Yeah.
And then the last thing you need is patience. It may take you 20 years for your podcast to pop off. It may take you a year. Everyone's timeline is different, right?
Yeah.
I think if you can master those 3 things, you can do anything. So whether that's even if you're a real estate agent, you need the courage to say, fuck it, I'm going to leave my job in construction where all my buddies, see me and now I'm going to do something different than everybody else now. So I need the courage to make that jump. Okay, cool. Now I need the discipline to be fucking on the phone every day, to be door knocking, putting my flyers everywhere, whatever, working at it every single day. And then I need the patience. You can't become, I think real estate's another perfect example, like the podcast, where people just think, oh, I'm a real estate agent now. I left my other job and I'm going to be making 500,000 this year. I'm going to do 20 sales.
Everybody watches Selling Sunset and says, bro, this is what it is.
And it's
I'm
fake.
When I walk into the house and Sarah's watching, I turn that shit off. I take it as an insult.
Yeah.
I actually do.
It
I'm like,
is.
that's not the
real.
business.
It's not
Because if
real.
you
It's
saw the
so
business
fake.
I was in, all these people that are becoming realtors thinking they're printing money to license to print would never have gotten into it. They'd be back to being
but you know
OnlyFans models and selling booth.
The real ones survive, though. Only the real ones survive. You know that.
It's
You've seen
such a-
realtors come and go for sure, even throughout the
100%.
pandemic.
And here's the thing in our culture, like in my household, so both my parents were teachers, but in Iraq, like the education system back then was really good. So like the one thing that dictator did was he leveled up the quality of the education, the healthcare. He did all that. One Iraqi dollar that was known as a dinar, still is, I think, dinar, but was worth $3 US.
Yeah, I was going to say it was actually
big.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was big. So like the education system was big. So when my parents came here, they met here, got married, and then they had us. It was like lawyer or doctor, and they knew I didn't like science. They're like lawyer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Then my mom, as she started really seeing like how hard it is here, like you're just working, especially like they're the real pioneers, like leaving everything behind to come here. Like those are real struggles. But they saw how much of a struggle it was working here. You're just working all the time because their educational credentials didn't transfer over. True. So they had to they became entrepreneurs out of necessity, not out of the cool thing to do. Yeah, they had to. So she's like, you know what, just be it. She saw teachers, how they were treated. She's like, teacher, you get summers off, you're protected and all these things. So I actually got my teaching degree from university, from York, but I never applied to a school board. I was already doing real estate. And my mom for years, even my dad is more quiet, but my mom would hate it. My mom would go to Sarah and be like, hey, go tell him, go be a lawyer, go do this, go do that. And then I invite her to we do Christmas parties at the end of the year. You guys will come this year for sure.
100%.
For our clients and stuff and our partners. And then she'd see 100 people in the room, 150, and she started realizing, okay, maybe they're doing something.
Yes,
right.
They're doing something right here.
They got to see it to believe it, the parents, when you're doing that.
The click that came for them, that I saw them inspired, I was like, finally, get off my back. I took them to Aurelia and I showed them, I was just going to go with my dad. Now that I got married and moved out, you're not with them every day. I was going to just go with my dad. My mom joined us, brought sandwiches, whatever. I said, I just got to go look at a few properties I have. I haven't seen them. I bought them. I haven't seen them, but we're renovating them. I want to see that. I want to check up on the status.
And they're just like, wait, what the fuck? Did you say?
My dad's like, okay, I'll come with you for the ride. Sarah's not with you, whatever. And my mom joins and I show them this one, small piece of land. This will be like a 3-unit apartment building, whatever. On the way back, these guys threw so many ideas at me. I was like, guys, I love it. Like they were pumped. They were finally pumped.
It's real now.
Yeah.
Now it's real.
And I said, no one's financially free or anything like that. I go, but this is like, it's worth it now. Like it's worth them seeing. And now they come up with all kinds of ideas to try to help us.
Yeah.
My dad gives me really bad leads. I say, guys, keep them to yourself. Send them to Danny. I go, send them to Danny. But it's nice when like they're a part of like the story, right?
Yeah,
of
course.
You want to make
it takes some time. It takes those couple years or those 6-8 months where you're kind of you're in that gray area of they don't know what the fuck you do for a living. You're trying to explain to them what the fuck you do for a living. They still
You don't know
have
what
an
you're doing.
idea.
Yeah, you don't even know half the time.
You still don't know how you're doing it. You're like, I'm not even gonna go another 6 months. Is there a problem trying to prove it to them?
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the family attachment to the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Is those years where you're like, nobody knows what I'm doing but me.
And then my
right? And
older-
I know the only way they're gonna believe it is if they see,
they see it.
an event, a number, a check,
Something
something
that's
come in.
traditional.
But
I
that
think.
could take years sometimes, right? So
years, for
that's
sure.
when a lot of entrepreneurs say, "Bro, I'm out. Fuck this.
I'm out.
I'm done.
I think-
I already got a couple looks. My mom's looking at me weird. My dad said I'm gonna get this. I'm done. I'm going back to school. Let's go."
I think
Yeah.
another big thing on that journey that you're talking about too is like you get to the point where now you need a team, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't do everything on your own, and then you're like, fuck, okay, I'm still figuring it out for myself. Now I got to learn how to train somebody. I got to make them believe in the vision. Like, how do I do that? So then you're trying to hire people, you're trying to bring people under your wing, interns, whatever, and you're trying to teach them like your ways, but you don't even really know your way.
You're
Like,
kind of just going with it.
you're going with it, right? And I think something that we've been lucky with, and obviously we've at the same time brought so many people in and out of our business on both sides, is we've been lucky to have like our team is fucking solid now. Like we got a solid team. You guys work with some of our team as well,
Yes.
with the show and stuff, and so I'm sure you see it, but just we've been able, and I think and thank God there's two of us, because then if one of us is kind of off, the other one's on type of thing. But we've been able to really have our team buy into the vision.
So important.
And I think that beyond any process we've put together, or any fucking gift we could give or bonuses or whatever, I think that has been one of the main reasons why we've even gotten to the point that we're at, is because everybody who works with us, whether it's MBH or neighborhood, believes in what we're doing. But
Yeah.
I think the reason they do is because they've literally seen us put countless hours in.
Yeah.
And whether that's missing family events, not doing this, not doing that, fucking I'm showing up in they come in the office, we were there at 5:30 a.m. and we posted on our story to make sure they knew, and then they left at 5 o'clock, and then we stayed till fucking 10 p.m. I'm in my Crocs and my fucking short, like whatever, like
They see that,
they
yeah.
see it, right? And so it's like I think when it comes to team building especially, it's like you got to really make sure they believe in the vision. But they're going to look at you first, and they're going to say, okay, oh, this is your company, so what do you do?
Exactly.
How much effort and time are you putting into the business before I even consider putting 50% of that?
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we've been very good at, and I think that's been from day one, even when we were just neighborhood. That's always been our thing, is like the culture, and anybody that comes to work with us, like to work for the team, is I don't even care about your resume. I don't care what you've done. Are you willing to come here, learn, and work hard? If those two things, if you meet those two criteria, and the last one is you see the vision and you understand it, you're welcome. I don't care. I don't
that's
care if you
huge,
never
man.
did a fucking minute of high school. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Same here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And we've had so many people come and go, and it just was never the right fit.
So
it
for
just
us,
didn't make sense.
For me, like I got like aggressively wanting to expand and build. So a few years ago, we had 14 people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
They're all commission-based agents.
Yeah.
But I was reading a book, From Good to Great. And have you guys ever read that book?
No.
Yeah, Tim Cook. Check it out. He does a study. It's like a study like on some of the, I think, top 50 companies in the States at the time, Walgreens, BMW, big names. And then what really takes a company from good to great. And they start studying so many different things. And one of the things he said was, get the wrong people off the bus and get the right people on the bus.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, what am I good at? I'm not good at babysitting. I'm not like that. I want to just go and talk to the client, do the deal. That's what I'm good at. Relationship building. That's my thing. So a lot of people, when COVID hit, I'm like, all right, we got to create content. We've never created content before. We got to launch an online e-learning platform. Like I had these ideas, and we got to buy an office. Those were the three things, which we did all three, but we haven't been pumping the online stuff yet.
Yeah.
We want to build it up nice. And as I'm talking to my team, I'm like, okay, these guys need me. They don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening in the world, like the virus, but I, work-wise, I know what we need to do. Now's the time you follow up with everyone and see if they need help. People are losing their jobs. Businesses are shutting down. You got to find out, can they afford their bills?
Yeah.
So I doubled up my trainings. Every week I'm seeing these people on Saturday morning, and I'm talking to them. And I told them straight up, I said, guys, there's a lot of changes coming. I had bought the office, but didn't tell them yet. There's a lot of changes coming. You guys need to level up. You need to improve, or some of you won't be here.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I closed the deal for the office, and now we're in August, we were in Sabo Beach, Sarah and I got the phone call. I was on the strip, and I got the phone call from the last guy that was on the team just saying, hey, it's not working out. He left. I'm like, okay, good luck with everything, whatever. Hung up the phone. She's like, you okay? Whatever. I'm like, babe, I feel like this thing has just been, removed off this burden, this weight is off my shoulders. We're lean now. There's 5 of us and I know what we need to do.
Yeah.
And I feel good about that. Cause sometimes you don't want to have that tough conversation with somebody. Like, you never know how your words are going to impact them in the future. Like somebody might fire you or me and we're like, that motivates us to do our own thing. You might fire someone and it really hurts them. Like this, they gave it their all and that's all they could do. So, you still have to have those conversations, of course.
For sure.
But it's nice when they come to you and do it. You're like, okay.
Well, we actually had Michael Weckerly from the Dragon's Den on, and he said something that I think when he left the pod, we were just like, holy fuck. And we've implemented literally this motto in our business from that literally minute forward. He said, fire fast and hire slow.
Yeah.
He's like, if you see a bad apple, do not let them rot the rest of the team. Get them out as fast as possible. Don't double think it. If you think the person is causing a fucking mess in any way in your business, get them out.
That was my mistake.
Get them out.
That was my mistake.
Well, that's a common mistake because you start to think with
feel
employees.
You're a nice guy.
Honestly, for
You're
us,
a nice guy,
for
bro.
us, it wasn't even. For us, I don't think it was even like, oh, we felt bad. It was just like sometimes you feel like you need them. You're like, oh, like, but if we lose this person in this position, are we gonna find somebody just as good? That was a big thing for us. But after that conversation, everything flips. I think we fired 3 people like right after that conversation. Oh yeah, for real, bro. And then and so you fire fast. If you see an issue, put it out, put the fire out right away. Get rid of the people, get rid of the person, whatever. If you see that, and then hire slow. Take your time hiring, because then you also have this thing where you think, oh, to be a successful business, you need to have 50 employees. Yeah. Sometimes there's businesses with 3 employees that are making more money, more profit than a 50-person business.
Yeah.
The number of
100%.
employees don't equate to how much money you make.
No.
Right. And we learned that because there was one point where we're like, we need all these fucking employees. We need to go crazy. And then
Quality. It's just
and then we
quality.
realized, okay, wait a minute. One good person is better than 5 shitty ones, 5 half-assed people.
Definitely.
It's true, right?
100%.
But again, these are all L's that you got to take. You're like,
100%.
fuck, I've been paying that guy a salary for
Well, you gotta
a year,
try.
bro.
You gotta try it out. You gotta test it out when you're building a team. I think building a team is smart, but I think you need to go through it to understand what kind of team you really need to build. I think that to be a good leader, you don't need to be good at everything, right? You need to be good at some things, but you need to be able to find people that are very great at what they do. Then you sell them the vision and you're building a team. I think the best leaders know how to build a team, pick the best people and build that team. They're not the best at everything. And I think the best leaders are able to sell their vision and persuade people in a good way. Obviously, there's good persuasion, right? Persuasion as a leader is like the number one thing. You're persuading someone every day to do something different. You're persuading people on your team, your partners, your parents, your partner, of your romantic partner, your business partner. You're persuading people, clients.
Yeah.
You're
all
always
day.
persuading or selling. Some people
That's
use the
the
word
num-
selling.
that's
but
the number one thing.
For a good thing, though, not a bad
Oh no,
thing.
that's why people have a bad taste in their mouth when they hear persuade.
Well, people think it's like mind
oh,
control
what are you
or
trying to
something,
persuade me, right? But people are being persuaded all day on their phone when they're looking at billboards on the radio, whatever, right? So, yeah, I think going back to it, a good leader understands what they're good at and what they're not good at.
Yeah.
That's an ego drop right there. So the minute you say, I need help, you dropped your ego. You finally said it. How many entrepreneurs do we know that won't drop that ego and say, I'm going to do this myself? I could do that.
I know
I could do
everything.
that too.
Yeah.
I'll do that myself. Fuck it. I want to keep all the money. That's usually the reason. I want all the money.
Yeah.
But little do they know, if they put experts around them and then they sell the vision to them, they'll grow much faster than they ever would have, right? So I think those are key things. But going back to the team, you need to kind of drop your ego, realize when it's time. Maybe you will overhire at the beginning and learn the hard way, like we all probably did, which is fine. Do it while you're younger.
Yep.
But building that team and finding the people around you to take it to the next level, that's the key. If you want to go to the next level, again, there's people that are very comfortable where they're at. You know what? 2 employees is good. I don't need to have 5.
Yeah.
Things are going to get crazy. I'm good where I'm at. Everything's taken care of, right? But for those who are watching and want to take it to the next level, be a good leader. And by that, I mean, find the right people that fit into your brand, fit into your family, fit into your culture, that are great at what they do.
Yeah.
And that's all they have to be. They got to be a great person, great at what they do. And you being the leader, you're going to know what else you have to, if you have to train them on other things or stuff like that.
And I
But
think 100%. And even quickly back to the persuasion thing. What people don't get is you want to do business, it's a fucking game. Like you're entering war. And war is all a game of persuasion, conversation, how you interact with people. You need to read rooms. You need to understand this guy said this. You know how many times especially in the early days, we left meetings with like potential clients and stuff, and we're like, okay, he said this, so maybe he thinks that. And that's how you gotta be. You gotta really think like, why did the person say that? Why are they saying that?
It's a mind game.
It's all a mind game. It's all a mind game.
game.
So the more that you learn to read people and understand people's movements, the reason they say things, how they say certain things, tones, that's how you're gonna win the game.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win the game by just because you have the most money. Long term, the guy who can read rooms better is gonna be way farther than you.
Exactly.
But it's a skill, right? You also got to practice that skill
You got to get in a lot of rooms.
and have a lot of conversations.
Make a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
Huge. Yep.
You know, you shoot yourself in the foot and you're like, oh, why did I say that?
Yeah.
I was just sharing with you guys, I think we were off air when I said I had to redo that intro on one of the shows. I had to tell the guy, hey, buddy, like I think I disrespected you and I didn't mean that. And he knew I didn't mean anything by it, but the way that I said it was so stupid. I was like, what the heck's wrong with you? Like, it's your first.
I got to hear this original
I gotta
intro.
understand what happened.
You got to
Yeah,
send
yeah.
it to us now.
Okay, so basically about, imagine like, somebody's dad got shot up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the mob.
And then
Yeah.
the sun is
And,
here.
and the son is here. And I'm like, he's got a cool and tragic story to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
okay.
like,
So
cool
you
and
didn't
tragic.
mean it. Yeah.
And I literally in the intro go, not cool because it was tragic. Like I literally said
it was
that.
both. Yeah.
And then I didn't fix it. I let the interview go and he was nice enough that it went. And then at the end I go, I just need to redo it. I apologize. And Carson was like, his whole thing, because we're not looking at the guest when we're recording virtually. We're looking at the camera. He's like, his whole body, it changed. He's like, he didn't like it. He's like, but he kept going.
Yeah.
So I was appreciative to that. And then we were cool. But I was like, why would you say that?
But like, I really appreciated it.
Those kind of guys can read fucking rooms, bro.
Oh, 100%.
All they do is
those
read
guys
come in
everything.
Those guys come into they're
he
looking
probably
everywhere.
was like, oh, okay, this guy, yeah, he probably
He fumbled.
knew.
It's fine. Let's give him a pass. But
Yeah.
I was just like so disappointed in myself. And one thing I have to blame, and actually one of your team members was like, yeah, he's like, just do it because it's gonna help you. I was like, I never watch our stuff after it's recorded.
you have to. You have to.
I've never
You
watched our stuff
You have
after it's
to.
recorded.
You know how much that changes everything?
Well, because bro, you gotta look at it as now
How can I get better?
you got to study yourself.
Well, you gotta say, okay, there are hundreds and thousands of people watching this. Like, how are they seeing
And
it?
I watched the other day just my intro.
It's tough.
I turned it off. I'm like,
No,
bro,
I know,
I'm
bro.
like, this is
You
trash.
gotta do it. You gotta do
I was
it.
like, this
No.
is trash.
You gotta
I was
do
like,
it.
That's something I struggle with,
Yo,
though, for
I
sure.
don't know
'cause
why
it's
it's
like,
so hard. It was hard for us. Like,
Yeah.
I'll speak for myself, but at the beginning, it was harder for me. Now I watch all our shit. Obviously, we have to.
Yeah.
But
Now you're a fan of your shit.
it's not that I'm a fan. I'm still very critical about myself, like all the time, right? But then I started realizing, like, hey, like you can actually get better episode to episode without trying to just wing it.
Yeah.
Like there's things you can actually
do,
do
yeah.
better, right?
I'm hearing myself. I'm like,
But
well,
people just don't
welcome.
want to see it. I didn't want to
Yeah.
see it at the beginning. I didn't want to see the things
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't
bro,
good at the beginning. I
it's
didn't want to
like-
be like, fuck, like why'd I do that?
It's
But it's
sport.
done. It's there.
It's like sports, guys. It's like a team plays a game. The next day they're
They gotta watch
They're
it.
in the room watching the tape.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I say this a lot. Oh, I cut the guest off a lot.
Or I look like this,
Or I
or I
look
look
over
like
here.
that,
Like,
yeah.
if you want to get better, you got to study the tape. It's just that simple.
I remember
I
one
know.
intro. I was like,
Right?
I was
For
like,
sure.
welcome to another
and then you
episode.
shut it off.
And we have like Big Joe Egan, like one of Mike Tyson's closest friends on the show. I'm like, we've got another special. I'm like, why do you sound like a robot, bro? I'm like, change this. Just be normal.
so
Just
Joe,
be
and-
normal. So then recently, I'm like, Dan, you take the intro, and he's like, nah, you take the intro.
You know what you can do to get better at that stuff too is just talk to yourself in a mirror
In a
too.
mirror, I
Straight
know.
up.
Which is like, it might feel like the cringiest thing you can ever do in your life, but God, is it beneficial, bro?
And
I'm
that's why
telling you.
I take so much rejection during
No,
the day
bro,
at
I'm
work.
telling you.
Sarah has to yell at me from the front and I'm in the back and I'm making my calls.
Yeah.
And I'm getting, 50, 60 calls and,
Yeah.
and maybe two people said, let's talk further. And everyone else, I've had people tell me like, screw off, like right on the phone or just hang up in my face. She'll yell, she'll be like, love you. And
Yeah.
she hears it.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks. I'm not taking it personal.
Yeah.
But sometimes he knows I'm such a big critic of myself.
But that's better.
To add that now and be critic, but I
you
should
have
because it's
to. You're
gonna
already
make the
doing
show
it.
better.
You're already doing it.
doing
We
it.
have to.
The show's out.
Exactly.
I can
guys-
go watch it, and you don't want to watch it?
No, I know.
Like how
I
crazy
know.
is
guys,
that?
you're
I
also-
know my stuff.
You're also sitting down with like some, incredible people like
Yeah.
who have insane stories. If you can sit in front of them or on the camera, whatever, the Zoom call, and be able to have those convos.
Yeah.
Dude, that's 90% of the fucking battle.
That's
Like,
true.
you did the hard part.
Yeah.
You sat in front of these guys with these crazy stories. They probably have no idea who you are, and you're trying to pull value from them for the viewer. You did the heavy lifting. Now you just got to lift the finger just to make sure, okay, how can I do this a little bit better?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And I watched one of your videos. I forget who it was that was your guest, and I was like, oh, I really like Anthony's like intro. I'm like,
Thanks,
I really like it. I'm like, he's obviously worked on that. Like you got it down to a formula now.
Well,
You know,
and bro,
right?
if you go back, it's changed. For the first period, I would do it like this. Then the second season, I started doing it like that. And then you start learning. But you have to watch it.
You have to watch
because I'm sitting there and I'm watching myself as if I'm just one of our regulars, and looking at me and going, okay, I'm doing that. I probably could do that better. I gotta. When the guest is talking, Anth, shut the fuck up, bro.
I've done that too.
Why do you
though.
keep saying That was a big change. We both were used to be like, yeah.
Oh, dude, our first 10 episodes were like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now-
Because you feel like it's a conversation.
You just feel like you kind of had
You know
for
what
the
the big
guest to give
switch
it
was?
back.
The big switch was this. I started doing this.
Yeah.
Start nodding
So
your
they're
head.
looking and
They'll say a word.
the nodding, okay, they're acknowledging you're listening, but the camera's not on you. So now you're like, you're getting the best of both worlds. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, this guy's listening
And
to me.
also, after you watch it, go listen to it.
Yeah. Because
Sounds
listening
better.
is a
No, but it's a different thing.
listening is a different
Because
experience.
sometimes you'll be doing a podcast and you'll just act as if everyone's watching. So you'll be talking about something and you go like, you're going like this, you go 1, 2, 3, you're doing all these things. Maybe you're laughing, you're smiling, but people can't feel that, right? So you got to find a way to still have that tone in the audio. It's tough. It's
Well,
tough.
bro,
It's a
we're-
different thing.
And it's funny because we're always thinking video, and obviously there's a big reason for that, right? But then, like I said, we have maybe a YouTube video that did 7,000 views. On audio, it did 15,000 downloads,
And we wouldn't even know.
and we weren't
We're
even
just like-
thinking about the people listening. There's more of them listening to this episode
Than watching it.
than watching it, right? So
and we're over here like, hey, look at my shirt that I'm wearing, and look at
and
my
then-
hair.
So then we started throwing in, hey, if you're listening, by the way, I'm
crazy,
wearing this,
right? Like nice
da-da-da-da,
shirt,
whatever.
bro. The person that's listening has no idea what you're talking about.
No idea.
Yeah. So you got to think of both, right?
And then even with I think communicating, I think podcasting has made me realize, I'll speak for myself, but probably Ant too. It's made me realize how important it is to like have your communication down packed, to be able to communicate what's on your mind in a civilized manner, in a
concise way.
in a proper manner, right? And I think that PBD is amazing. The way PBD tells stories, his tone, the way that he communicates with people, it's so easy to digest and understand. Okay, Jordan Peterson, another one. He's another level. But think about it. That guy will take 2 sentences, he'll make it into 5 paragraphs all of a sudden and give it to you and deliver it to you.
Yeah.
And how impressive is that? Like, how many people watch Jordan Peterson? How many people watch PBD? Because anyone can, maybe not Jordan Peterson, anyone can understand PBD.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, you probably need to like play it
You
in
gotta
like,
read a little
like
bit.
slow mo. You know what I mean?
But something
to
like
digest it in that way, right? So this is something that I'm trying to really do right now, is communicate it in a way that's easy to digest, but also, get all my thoughts out
It's effective. Yeah.
in a very effective way, right? Very efficiently. So again, you're looking at content now in a reel, 15, 20, 30 seconds. How can we get our message across very concisely, but still with some character too? You don't want to sound like a robot. Like
Exactly. Sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, oh,
But
you look like
again,
a scarecrow.
now
bro.
going back to it,
Get off. What are you doing here?
going back to it, when you said you had issues watching your own podcast because you're very critical of yourself.
Yeah.
You're very, I don't want to watch myself.
So
right?
cringe.
If you do watch it, you're going to start deciding, hey, I need to actually take a step up in this. I need to take my communication to another level.
Exactly.
That's the part that maybe is making you feel uncomfortable right now, because you're like, I don't even want to know what I have to do better. I just want to do this right now.
It's true.
Right. But
It's true.
I think a lot of people, if they look at it, and it took me a while to even do that, right? To even watch my own podcast, look in the mirror, start talking for a sec.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. You would think it's nothing, but for guys like us, we're very critical of ourselves, right?
But that's what's going to separate you from the other guys that are doing,
All day.
they do 5 episodes and they wonder why
All
it doesn't
day.
do well. And it's
All
like,
day.
guys,
And you again, going back to PBD, go look at everything he's done, how many speaking events he's done, how many books he's read, thousands, how many podcasts he's done, how many podcasts he's listened to. You won't even have a stat because it's unlimited.
and he would be telling us the same thing.
He would,
100%.
He would tell us,
he
go
would say,
watch
go
your
in the
old- my
fucking
old
mirror
stuff.
and
Yeah.
do a whole podcast by yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Do a host episode by yourself in the mirror. And let me know how that goes.
It's true.
After that, do that and then go watch one of your episodes. You'll have a full list of things that you want to do better. The whole thing is just people scared of that list.
Yeah.
Scared to face that list. But The ones who actually do are at the top.
I got called a bond insurance sale. I don't know what it was in the States. I don't even know if we have it here, but one of the interviews with Michael, I was dressed up with a tie, the blue light glasses, my beard was like this, like full on like Middle Eastern look. And I guess the glasses and the tie and stuff didn't really help either. And he's like, someone commented, he's like, this guy looks like a bond insurance salesman or something.
Good.
In New York. I'm like,
good.
I'm like, I don't like that look though. I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah, but
look,
you know what? You gotta remember, like, fuck everyone as well. Like the people that
Everyone's
are
gonna have an opinion.
the people that are gonna like you are gonna love you. You could have been wearing something else that day. That guy would have said
same thing.
He would have said something.
Exactly.
You look like this. You look like that. That guy was already looking for it. You didn't do anything wrong.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you kind of get past that, and we say it every fucking day, we just say, hey, listen. It was like us. Once we decided to go out and speak our mind about, let's say, stuff like politics and pandemic and what's happening in the world, we signed at that point. We said, but we're all in now. Once you go once, you're all in.
That's it.
Stop caring what people think right now.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to dig yourself in a hole.
Yeah.
Dude, again, how many subscribers are you at now?
Just under 7,100.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Unreal.
You guys want to get the 100,000 to 1 million.
Yeah.
Think about how many people not going to like your outfit at 100,000.
A lot of
A lot of them,
Yeah.
right? So you're gonna have to be prepared for that. I think the best entrepreneurs are ones that are prepared to lose and win at any time. Both.
It's true.
You actually gotta think, if somebody's gonna drop like a hate message, like
They love you.
Yeah, exactly.
They
'Cause
love you.
and hate are the same thing.
They're just two
They're
sides of the same
they're
coin.
just exactly.
Yeah.
They're just emotions. They're actually giving you their energy, although
Yeah.
it's not the energy you maybe wanted.
Yeah.
They took the time out of the day to give you energy. It's
true.
That's true.
And that's the way we see it. So
Yeah.
again, when we made those choices, like he said, we signed that deal and said, "Yo, we're gonna talk our mind. Who gives a fuck now?" Bro, the hate was through the roof. For sure.
It's a common mindset when you put yourself out there, right? You're kind of like, you do it and then you're waiting for something bad to happen. Right? A lot of people do that. They wake up in the morning and they're already waiting for something bad to happen, a failure, a loss or something, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the best entrepreneurs or creators are prepared to win or lose at any moment, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I feel someone who's not in that position or that mindset wakes up and they're just waiting they could be winning right now, but they're just waiting for the next failure.
It's true.
They're already waiting. It's like you're going to fucking lose sooner or later,
Yeah.
but just enjoy it. Enjoy the
every
waiting
moment.
while you're doing
Yeah,
it,
it's
right?
about how
So
fast you get back up, right?
that's a huge thing, right? But I think you have to be ready for both. You have to be ready for the love. Don't take it too much to heart, because once you start doing that, then your ego inflates, stuff like that. But don't take the love too much to heart, and don't take the hate too much to heart.
That's why
It was done within seconds, and it's someone that doesn't even fucking know you.
It won't. It's not
That's
gonna
true.
matter. The way I look at it is, if when you're on your deathbed, you're 100 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Is that gonna matter? And the answer is no.
No.
But that's why a guy like these big guys, they go, they don't mean it in this way, but I know why they say it this way.
Exactly.
You want more lawsuits.
Yeah.
You want this. You want the tax bill to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Because all the other stuff, the good stuff, are going to be much bigger.
Yes.
As well, right?
More money, more problems. It's the exact same thing.
The reality
Exactly.
is, if you want to be massive in anything, you want to have the best podcast, be the best real estate agent, have the biggest tech company, whatever. If you want to get to that point, you need hate. If put it this way, if no one fucking hates you or is giving you hate, spewing hate at you at some point, you're not doing anything right. And that's the reality of it.
Or anything that you truly wanted.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, like you realize, like, when you're growing, how much hate you get. If you're not getting hate, unfortunately, you're not
ain't
growing.
growing.
Yeah. And that's the reality. Like, that's just what it is. So I think, you gotta, if you want to be big and you want to be out there in the public eye to some extent, or not even the public eye, just be successful, you got to get used to the hate.
I used to post all of our real estate stuff on like real estate groups, like the Ontario Real Estate Association. I used to get one realtor just would comment, "This isn't the platform for this," on a Facebook group. "This isn't a platform for this."
So what
And
is
I see
it?
him all the time. Like, "You're such a hater. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? It's an educational podcast on real estate.
Yeah.
Realtors can benefit from it. I've been walking a realtor through this particular deal this week.
Yeah.
They've never done a deal like this. And I told them, I go, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to help you. If your client wants to do the deal, you're getting your full commission.
Yeah.
But I'll do the deal for both of us. But
Yeah.
don't worry about, like, I'm going to work with you." That is needed in our industry.
But it's Facebook. It's a social media platform. What do you mean it's not the place for this?
He's like, this group is not the place for it. And I'm like, what are you talking? It's the Ontario Real Estate
But
Association.
that's what we mean. People like that.
Yeah.
Put
Brush
them
them.
off to the side over
Brush
there.
them.
You don't even, so I'm like, post more of it.
Yeah, go off.
Yeah, exactly.
He's helping make
Get
it
him
go
cheesed.
viral.
Yeah, I appreciate you,
Double
buddy.
it up, bro. Fuck it.
Make it go
You
viral.
can't, man. Listen, the same people that are gonna hate are gonna one day love. You know, it all comes back around. People need to see it to believe it sometimes, right? They're gonna prey on your downfall. If it doesn't happen, they turn around and they're loved.
It's like what they say about politicians. The one who's the most like known,
Yep.
even for bad, is typically gonna get the vote because
Gonna
they're
win.
just the most known.
No one, yeah.
Come on. Look at the biggest people in the world, the biggest athletes, the biggest music artists. They have so much people that hate them. You have the
don't
biggest
care.
athletes in the world. You have half the fucking fans in that sport hate that player, and vice versa.
True.
No? How many people hate LeBron James?
A lot of people.
Holy
I can't
fuck.
stand them.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I'm saying, right?
Me
Like,
too.
okay,
At the
that's
end of the
it.
day,
He's just an athlete.
Yeah, he doesn't care about what we think.
And he doesn't give a
He's
fuck.
He schmucks away.
Right? Like,
I don't like the witchcraft ceremony he does.
Yeah, you know, I know that.
You know, like,
Yeah, no, he
yeah,
goes
there's
crazy
the-
with that.
whatever he's
But
trying to
again,
do. I don't know.
that's an athlete. Now maybe he's taken part in politics and other stuff
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
and that's why people don't like him. But that's an athlete.
And because Jordan's the greatest of
So
all time.
imagine us. We're over here actually saying our opinions about stuff. We're over here saying our opinions about stuff. Obviously, like half the people that listen are probably not going to agree.
It's true.
Still listen.
Well, the mob, you go look at the mob stuff.
Yeah.
One short will have, oh my gosh, the amount of people that call this guy a rat or
Yeah.
a pigeon.
Yeah.
And I see them, I'm like,
Pigeons.
yeah. And then I see them and I'm like, how do you respond to this without the guy that we brought on thinking we're supporting what they're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just go, thanks for watching. Here's another video we have. Make
Yeah.
sure you watch it as well.
Of course.
But the stuff that people say, I'm like, bro, how do you guys have the balls to say it to a guy who, you know, on some level still has that in him?
Because it's a bot account of someone just in their basement.
Yeah, well, that's what
On
it is.
fucking
It's some fucking Murph in his
59K
basement.
underscore Ghost Rider, whatever. And you're like, bro,
Do you guys engage with like a lot of hate that you guys get?
No.
Like,
Okay, hold on,
how do
hold
you guys approach that?
We used to.
Okay.
I used to go
What'd
to
you do?
war in the I'd go to war. I used to fucking go to war in the comments. Then I would screenshot them and put them on blast on my story and be like, look at this idiot. And then I realized like that's what they want.
You give him a platform.
I'm literally giving this person a platform. There's still one girl that till this day I will give her a platform. I won't say her name. I don't even know what her ad is, but she said something like a long time ago, and she said, this was during like the pandemic times, and we were very vocal about our opinions. And you know, I don't know, I had a reel about whatever was going on, and she commented like, just two Genos in their mom's basement with a podcast, like some shit
So
like
what?
That. Yeah. I was
So
like-
what?
And I was like, this fucking bitch. Like, are you kidding me? So then I screenshot. I put her on my story, and like our people went crazy. And I didn't tell anybody to do that, and I should have blocked her name out. I just wasn't thinking. And then the bro, this girl messaged me like, oh, you sent your army after me. People are DMing me saying crazy shit. I'm like, listen, I was actually like, my bad. That's kind of fucked. Took it down, whatever. But yeah, I used to go to war, bro. And then yeah, I quickly realized that's what they want.
So like there's buddies of mine in real estate that will post certain things they do. You know, we take shots in certain ways as well. We don't take shots at like one singular person, and it's not right to take shots like at realtors in general because it's unethical. We could get in trouble for that. But I do say there's a lot of bad apples and stuff.
Of course.
But the people that I'm friends with, like let's say like a Matt Campoli, right?
Yeah.
Like he posts something, I'll like it. I might comment if I see it. But there's other guys that might post something that I disagree with. Like, for example, a lot of realtors don't like pre-construction real estate.
Yeah.
Some don't understand it. Some, they've been burned by it. They have their reasons. But when they post something about it, what I'll do, because I know it helps their video, I'm creating content too, is I'll post like an antagonist point of view.
Sure.
Not a hater point of view. An
Yeah.
antagonist, like I'll
a
say,
debate. Yeah.
like someone posted, he's like, oh, you know, recently with what one of the builders did, they were scamming TD for 32 million or something like that. It was crazy. I don't know how they didn't get caught earlier, but I know, ridiculous. And then he posted about it, but he said something along the lines of like, it was just generalizing the entire pre-construction industry, which isn't like that. So I just said something along the lines of like, which builder was this? Like, I know, you know, my clients, when they buy, they bought from this guy, this builder, they did well. And the guy, instead of like shutting it down, was like, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You know, I just saw this article. He kind of went along with it.
Yeah.
And we did a good back and forth, which
Now you have
helps his
meaningful
video.
conversation now.
And then I like the video too, like to
Yeah.
show him that I'm not trying to comment to instigate. And he does it back and forth, and it helps our video.
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But when you have like certain people that are hating, I'm
No,
just
it's
like,
just straight hate. Yeah.
bro, you're like, how miserable of a life do you live?
That's what it is. That's
that's
exactly what
Like
it
how
is.
miserable
And that's
are
the
you?
point, right? So no,
You know?
listen, if someone comments, coming from a respectful point and they're trying to debate, maybe they don't agree with the point we made. Oh, I'll engage in that all day. But I know when it's like straight hate, like, buddy, you look like a fucking Murph, bro. You're a loser, bro. That's now you're this idiot. Look at this idiot's mustache. Look at this guy's haircut. Who do they think? Then I'll just be like, yeah, fuck you. Like I won't even.
So with you
respond
guys,
to that.
before we got into business with you guys, you've been holding the mic up. Do you want to say something? Because I feel like I keep jumping in.
absolutely,
You're good.
Yeah, go for
We're
it.
just showing off those biceps.
Yeah, he's got the
That's
new
nice.
bicep. They're brand new.
He's like, when we were first going to engage with you guys, I asked Matt, tell me a little bit about that. I didn't know the setup you guys had with him either. And I know another Matt he's friends with. And I said, can I talk to Matt about this? He's like, obviously, go ahead. And he said great things about you guys. And then I saw one of your videos. I started tuning into your stuff. And then I commented on one of your videos. You guys did a clip about the hustle in Miami versus Toronto.
Oh, that
or
one
something.
went viral as
Went
fuck.
viral.
Yeah.
So I saw it and I was like, so I commented and I said, it's true. Something I don't remember what I said, but maybe this isn't true. I don't agree with this fully.
Yeah.
Because I was putting myself in the perspective of, in my shoes, I'm grinding in Toronto. I'm doing
Yeah.
my best to, run stuff here, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
But I get what you guys were saying. That's why I never knocked on it.
Yeah.
There's guys that'll knock on it.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm like, bro, what? Like, do something to change it positively.
Yeah.
And then when I spoke with you guys the first time, I got off the phone and Sarah's like, what'd you think? And I spoke with Danny. I'm like, honestly, what you see is what you get. I go, that's what I wanted. I wasn't sure. Sometimes you see, that whole thing where you have a famous TV actor or a sports player that you're like, I can't wait to meet them.
And then they're completely different.
And they're completely different. You're like, I wish I never met them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
I wish I just knew them from the TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I didn't get that vibe.
No,
and
thanks, bro.
I was like, we're doing this.
That's a big thing for us, man. I think like that's truly the only way to grow in this game.
Be authentic.
If you're not, you have to be, because like
People will tell. They can tell.
well, because then you're gonna get to a point. Yeah, maybe you can grow to a certain level of being like from just being fake, but then one day you're gonna have to meet people face to face.
What's that guy's name? Liver King.
Yeah, there you go.
you go.
Exactly.
Bro, I was like, yo, the tenants, bro, whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna eat cow testicle, but I'm like,
No, you
I'm
fuck
gonna
with it. You fuck with the message.
meat.
Yeah.
we
eat
get
meat,
it. Yeah.
right. We're Middle Eastern. We eat meat. We don't, the Portuguese side they make fish, but we eat meat.
Yeah.
I go, I understand. I always felt better, but live off the land. But then I'm looking at his land and I'm like, this guy's got money. Like he's something's not.
This guy's
up.
sitting in a fucking throne.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And then I don't know. And then all of a sudden I heard that I watched that clip where he's like, I did it or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Steroids, yeah.
Steroids, yeah.
it's just that's wrong to me.
Yeah.
To me,
You're misleading people, right? You're full out lying to people, living a lie, and it's never gonna work out because someone's gonna find out, and you're not genuine, right?
And then you've lost all trust in your audience, and like your audience is in this game is like your audience is everything. If they don't trust your message, you have no message.
So we have non-for-profits here that we're no longer affiliated with because I just don't care to pay a membership every year just to say I'm affiliated with them.
Sure.
Because they'll still take my money.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But I remember in the mortgage industry, like entrepreneurship is what we do, right? So when you're talking to a guy like Patrick, that's all like, bro, amazing for entrepreneurs. You talk to a guy like Michael, you could learn more what not to do than what to do, right? Like how to not cut corners. And so anyway, I find value in that as well. Like one guy said, why don't you give a homeless person some money to speak on a stage? He'll teach you what not to do.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is great. So this mortgage event was taking place and I know the people running it. And I'm like, I got Francis coming on. I go, I gave him his bio and everything. You guys want to extend this to your database during this event or whatever? Why not? I'm already doing it. And they blasted out once. And then I guess they took a bunch of heat. The lady called me and was just like, you never told me this guy used to be in the mob. I go, you had his biography.
Yeah, I sent you everything. Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? It's in the bio. Former captain of like the Colombo crime family. Anyway, and she took a lot of heat. And ever since then, there's a part of them that think like we made her do it on purpose. So she takes the heat. I'm like, I don't even know what heat you're talking about. I go, people pay to get this guy on their show. I'm like, I'm willing to give him to you for free to learn about,
but
like in an industry that's full of shady people doing fraud.
That's
Literally.
just that's you.
Literally.
That's you working with someone who's not like-minded.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
exactly.
That's why we do things like this, so we can find more like-minded people, attract them to us. We work with them. That's how we do it.
And I tell people all the time, I go, you need to break out of your shell.
Yeah.
Because someone like me would have been like, why are you doing that? You've got this good real estate thing. Now it's going to reflect poorly on you. And I'm looking at it and saying, well, it didn't look bad on Patrick.
Yeah.
It didn't look bad on whoever else did it.
Bro, think about the people that have had him on.
Bro, it didn't look bad at all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I going to learn from the 99? I'm going to go learn from the 1% that's
There
doing
you
it.
go.
There you go.
There you
Right?
go.
Yeah.
And if that affects my business, I know it's not going to affect. I know it's going to affect it for the better.
Yeah, positively.
Well, even going back to the whole thing, when I compare Toronto and Miami, it's a lot to do with that too, and people being open-minded. Where people here are very closed in, they're used to their ways, and they don't want to learn about any new ways. Now, in terms of media, marketing, anything in those spaces, the U.S. is much ahead of us. The big cities in the U.S.
100 times.
is 100 times
Yeah.
ahead of us. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
You're not going to find people that are. You're going to find more like-minded people when you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a creator, because there's more of them there. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of
So when
sense.
you're dealing with someone and you say, "Hey, I had Francis on the pod," they know who that is, because they have to, because
funny
they're
that
in
you
they're in
say
a
that.
city
Yeah.
that's more engaged in the media world, in the social media world, in the marketing space. So for them to know Francis, that's going to happen already.
So who's doing it here? You guys, Nelk obviously is from here.
They're from here, yeah,
They're from here.
yeah.
But like, other than that, like, what are some
What do you
big
mean by
shows?
doing it?
Like, what are some big shows here? Like,
There's
in
not
Toronto?
many.
There's not many.
No. And this is
not
what I'm
many,
saying.
right?
And it's been 2-3 years of us saying there's not many, and there's still not many.
So what does that tell you? That's
That tells you that people here are
Yeah.
very comfortable in their ways. They will not risk something when they don't know what the return is for sure.
Yeah.
People here need a guaranteed return.
That's
Oh,
a
Francis,
fact.
who's that? Give me everything about him. For sure, I can show him to the people. For sure, every single person.
Yeah.
That's how it is here. Miami, Francis, yeah, put him on stage. Beautiful. Add him to the list. We already got 10 more mobs. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's
just
true.
what it
That's
is.
big though, because guys like us will do better there.
But this is what I'm saying.
the same effort we're
so when
doing
you see
here.
a reel of me comparing Toronto and Miami, and I'm doing it in the most Toronto slang version as possible, I'm doing it so the people here understand. I'm not trying to bash Toronto. I'm doing it so that if there's people here with the same mindset as me, open up your mind a little bit, head to another city, just see what they're doing.
That's
Just do it. Just see what they're doing.
I agree with that 1,000%.
Why are people going like from there way ahead of us here?
And just tell you,
By
ask
years,
yourself,
though.
why are people leaving here?
Yeah.
There's very
There's a
clear
whole-
answer, of course.
you know what I mean?
And
Like,
it's
you
mostly
don't just pick up.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Right? It's business owners.
But
it's guys that can go there and still do the same thing in a better market.
But it's also you have to think about like the difference between America and Canada. People come to Canada, like immigrants come to Canada, and I feel like the mindset is, okay, we're comfortable here. Like we can just build a good life. Immigrants go to America
And they say, let's fucking
and they
get
go,
it.
oh, buddy,
The American
I'm
dream.
fucking
Let's
ready to
go.
start firing.
Let's
right?
go.
So that's the thing. You have all this mass immigration to Canada, and obviously a lot of it ends up congregating inside Ontario, the GTA, and Toronto. But they come here, they're like, oh, bro, I can get a good job, benefits, I'm grooving.
Government's paying me.
Government's paying for this,
Yeah.
Dude,
buddy.
our
Florida-
podcast is based out of here, started here, and most of our audiences is in the US.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
That should show
our
you something.
our
That should-
YouTube channel is mostly US.
But that should tell you something.
Yeah.
More people are on the platform to get information.
Yeah.
Number one. More people using YouTube to teach themselves something. That's number one.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Amazing. Less people here doing that. I could probably tell because the people around me or the people I know, I don't really see them doing that too much, trying to learn from a podcast or anything like that. And then the whole side of the social media game. Like when I said it on a podcast the other day and I put a reel out, I said we were one of the first to start doing short form subtitles for podcasts. 2020.
Yeah.
Dude, they were doing it in Miami, New York, LA. They've been doing it. We just didn't know yet.
You didn't know.
But how are you going to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
now we have a guest on from LA. Whoa, who does this person know? What does their social look like? Oh, what the fuck they posted? This podcast went number one in California. What did they do? Bring it over here. And still no one wants to do it here.
Wow.
So it's very closed in their ways, but it's also because people just haven't seen it themselves.
You think
When
a
you
part
go
of-
out there and you see people, how much they invest in themselves for a channel,
Yeah.
you're like, holy, I'm not doing the most I can.
You're not doing it.
Night and
You go to
day.
PBD
Yeah.
Studio, you're like, this guy built this off his content.
Yeah.
You go to No Jumper Studio in LA, you're like, holy fuck, this guy built this off his podcast.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You don't see
question
that
it.
here.
You're like,
you don't
I'm not
see it
playing.
here, or you just think it's not available for you. That's not an option for you.
But why do you guys think it's so different from Toronto and Miami? Why do you guys think, like you were talking about before, like the
cultural
mindset
thing? It's a cultural thing, like he mentioned, right? Like there's the American dream, where you go to America, you're from a third world country, you're from South America, something, and you're always looking at them. You're not looking at Canada on the movies and saying, "Oh, I want to live there." You're looking at America. You're looking at New York, Hollywood, and you're saying, "Wow, I can go make it." Like Ant said, then you have more like family structures coming out here now to Canada, and they're saying, let's just make a life for ourselves here. Yeah. Never mind taking over the world, becoming multi-millionaire. We don't need just comfortable life, get good benefits, a good government, and we're good. America, you're like, I got to make money now, later, tomorrow, and that night.
Well, things just aren't given for free as easily there as they are here.
You have to work for it there, but the thing is, everyone's on that same page. Here you have so many different people on different pages. Different phases of their life, different ages, different demographic, different cultures, different traditions. So we're a melting pot.
Yeah.
Right? Where everyone's on a different wave. So it's hard to catch that one vibe. Miami, it's like, everyone's doing their own thing, but everyone's on that grind mode.
Well, one thing everyone always asks us, like, how's business there? Because now we've like outside of the podcast, we've started getting clients for neighborhood out in Miami and Florida as a whole. And one thing we notice is money flows way easier over there. People are willing to spend. It's like here to get a dollar.
They're willing to make.
To get a dollar out of somebody here is like you got to fucking teeth and nail fucking 25 proposals, 500 meetings until they give you $1,000 a month.
Zooms.
Over there, bro, it's like we have one meeting. They go, okay,
when can you start?
The energy is good. We just had a dinner or whatever. We didn't even give them the price. They're like, yeah, we're good to go. Just send us whatever it is and let's fly. Like,
so it's
they're
even
willing to.
It's even the mentality
crazy,
around money there is different.
Well, because there's something there.
Here
it's
it's like,
important.
okay, I'm gonna spend this $10, but where am I gonna get that $10 after I spend the $10?
I posted Barbara from Shark Tank on my story, and she was talking about how you need to spend money to make, and not even spend like necessarily invest in your business, but you need to just spend it. Money is meant to be spent. Yeah. And over there, they don't care. Guy makes fucking 20 G's this month. He's spending 15 of it on a fucking Rolex. Why? It makes him feel better. He's more confident now. He's moving around. Boom. He's driving a nice car. Money attracts money. Over there, everyone's like, oh, Miami's so superficial. Nah, bro. The guy likes fucking Lamborghinis. He made enough money to buy one. He wants to buy one. And guess what? He's driving that around. This guy's going, hey, what do you do for work? What do you do for what's your business? Oh, I do this. Boom, boom. All of a sudden, he just signed a deal that's making him $50,000 a month. And it literally happens like that. Like, it's not even, I'm not even fucking capping. It's real.
I believe
so.
it.
The whole value, like the whole morality behind money there is much different.
Yeah.
It's a tool. It's a tool
there,
meant
there
to be
it's a
used.
tool.
They get it.
Yeah. Here it's more like,
here we hoard it.
So
We save
rare.
it.
We need it.
We hoard it all.
It's a
it's an abundance mindset, right? When over there, they're not worried about the $10 they just gave to you because they're making it.
The mic, bro. The mic.
They're making it while they're talking to you. Sorry, bro. I'm such a fucking wop. Sometimes I forget the mic. I thought we were just at a dining room table right now having some wine.
This is actually a dining room table,
but it's an abundance mindset, right? And I think that's something that I try to preach a lot, and Anthony does as well. Where, man, don't worry about if you know that money's going towards something that you're building.
Yeah.
Don't think so hard about it. Don't think about it that much, because if you start doing that, you're going to start doing it a lot more. And once you start doing that a lot more, then the last thing you want is not to be able to invest money into your company or your dreams. So you should be doing that nonstop.
It's funny that you say that. So the first property I ever sold, I've never sold any of my portfolio that I bought. Some same way, I'm like, that's all I got. I got to do my best to keep it long term. All the guys I've spoken to that sold properties, much more experienced, big portfolios, heavy hitters, regret ever selling anything. Yeah. Right. But now you mature, because even in his book, he said maturity, Ray Dalio says this. And then in PBD's book, he says maturity is when you're willing to let go of good alternatives to get better ones.
Yes.
So when we bought the house, I'm like, okay, I could get, go up to here in bad debt to get the house, and then it'll all work out. That's how I always am. I said, or I could liquidate one and just pay for it, take the money from there, pay for it, and not worry about it.
Yeah.
So I did that, but because it was the first one I ever sold in my portfolio, so I'm going to buy a watch. I want to buy a watch. I'm going to remember this property by this watch. Yeah. So I got the moon watch, the Omega moon watch, because it was first watch worn on the moon. Yeah. First property I ever sold.
Right.
I'll remember.
This guy planned it out pretty well.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So it's an $8,000 watch.
Yeah.
And we sold it. We bought this house for $390, sold it for $990.
Nice.
Okay.
Fuck.
I didn't get the full 600 because I had refinanced it a couple of times.
Okay.
But I got a good number. Sarah's with me at the jewelry store. And she's like, buy it. Like, Sarah's not like, she'll be like, buy it. Like, go ahead. Bro, the time it took for me to make that decision to buy that stupid watch, I bought it.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy, I don't feel like right. Like in my soul to buy this watch. I should give that money to my parents. Like, that's how I looked at it. But that's the wrong mindset to have.
No, you got to do something for yourself.
You gotta
sometimes.
do it.
You have to.
And then since then, I've gotten the opportunities to jump into a Rolly deal or do this or do that.
no
And
shit.
it makes sense. And now I'm like, bro, put on the line of credit,
listen,
bro.
let's
Right?
go.
You're gonna make money.
Dude,
It's a real thing what
a
people
real
are
thing.
attracted to. If you're wearing that watch in a meeting and someone says, bro, what fucking watch is that? I've never seen. Oh, this is a nice, bro. I got this watch the other day. It's like 10 racks. This guy's leaving the meeting saying, yo, this guy got a $10,000 watch. He's doing something.
Yeah.
He's doing something right.
But you know
People
what?
really
You know what
make
my old
decisions like
mentor
that.
used to say though. My old mentor, and
Yeah.
he knows who it is,
He's like I said, old. That's the important part.
Old.
Is your old mentor,
right? And this guy looked super successful, right, on the outside, and maybe he is. I don't know, but I don't know the truth, right? And he'd say, never wear a watch because he never wore a watch. Never wear a watch. Client sees that, they see you're making money. They're gonna get jealous of you. They're gonna stop working with you. That's what he was taught
It
me.
doesn't
No,
work anymore.
it's
It's the other
so
way.
backwards,
It's the other
bro.
way.
I'm
Maybe
like,
before.
I think
that's why
maybe
it was
before.
former.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe-
like, bro, I want to wear
No,
a
I'm
20, 30, 40K
maybe-
watch. And then
how old was he?
still
How
don't
old
waste
was
my-
he?
Older guy.
How
Yeah,
old
there
was
you
he?
go.
At the time, probably in his like early 50s.
Early 50s. So his market is different than yours.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna come in, see you wearing that watch. I'm gonna say, bro, I gotta fuck with this guy a lot more. Give me your number.
I was gonna wear a Rolly today.
Listen, I already
Come
know
on,
you're.
bro.
I already know you're good. Don't worry about it.
I was
But you
gonna
know what I'm
wear
saying?
one
Like,
today.
it's the same thing. And even with Ant too. And at the beginning of our business, we're like, okay, you know what? Let's get a car. Let's lease a car. Let's get a car. And I said, bro, we kind of got to look a certain way if we're gonna try and get better clients than what we have.
Yeah.
Right? We have to we want them to pull up to the office, see a Mercedes, see a Range Rover, as sad as that may sound, that's the reality we live in.
Yeah.
If they pull up and they see a 98 Honda Civic in my parking spot, they're gonna look at me differently.
Yeah.
That's
the reality.
just
the
the
reality
reality
of it.
So you have to just agree with reality and go with it. You know, you have to go with what life looks like right now. So we believe in those things. Now there's an extreme to where you got to be like, okay, well, I also got to make money from doing.
Yeah,
it.
you're not
can't-
gonna go in the hole.
Don't
doing
fake
that.
everything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you got to showcase how legitimate you are. It's the same reason we go hard on social media and we show content. And we want to build that legitimacy, build that resume up. So when someone meets us, they already want to work.
Yeah.
There's no convincing needed, right?
Yeah.
You saw everything. You saw the outfit. Wow, I walked into this space. I'm like, damn, guys. You guys are fucking balling. Hey, you guys are doing something right. I want to attach myself to you.
Yeah.
People want to attach themselves to people that are doing right. That's it.
And what I learned was like more recently, I'm like, so, you know, our families never showed us like, it's a whole different
vibe. Completely different thing.
when they came here, like they had to burn, my mom said they had to burn their family photos just so they
Nobody
never get
even
caught
knew.
with it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You know, they trace their other members. and
course.
kill them. They had to, right, leave. So like we've never been raised that way. It's always been a humble way. And then the whole idea with the Christianity piece, it's like,
Yes.
are you being humble? Are you not being humble? Are you glorifying something that you shouldn't be glorifying?
Of course.
So then I'm like, no, man, I know myself. I know that car doesn't mean anything. But a majority of the people watching us are going to say, I want to invest in real estate, not for the long term, not so that I give something to my grandkids. They'll be fine. I want to live that life now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, well, you show them the right way how to do it, but you got to flash a little bit.
But
Listen,
even going back to documenting too, going back to it, documenting is so important even at the beginning stages, because after 5-6 years of someone watching you grow, then you get the $40,000 Rolex. You're not looking like a show off. People already know your character from what you've showed them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna actually be happy. For anyone that hates is gonna be the same person that hated on your outfit. You know, that's the same person, right? But if you do it right and you do social media right with your presence and showcasing what you're doing, that'll never come off in a wrong way.
Yeah.
Right, to the right person. Right? The same reason like you make decisions based off our Instagram. You saw our Instagram. You said, maybe I want to work with these guys. We look pretty legit to you. Why was that? Maybe some of our guests, maybe some of our clients. Could have been anything. But it's the same thing in person when you pull up to the office. Wow, this is beautiful. Wow, you have a fucking nice watch on. There's some nice cars outside. You guys are doing well, eh?
Yeah. Eventually,
That's how people
eventually
make
you're not-
decisions.
Eventually, you can't
Yeah.
fake.
Everyone's against that, but
Yeah.
that's how everyone makes decisions.
When you get into the rooms you've always dreamed of being in, everyone there loves money. There's no like I hate to sound, it's gonna sound crazy, but when you're broke, you almost hate money. You hate the guy who has the nice watch.
yeah.
You're envious of the guy who has the nice suit, the nice car, whatever. When you start breaking into those rooms of like the ones you want to be in with the guys who have the fucking money, they're all there loving it. Big watches, nice suits, fucking jewelry, nice car, Range Rover keys on the thing, whatever. There's for some reason, and this is another difference between Canada and the States. I'll even just say Toronto and Miami, is that there's such a negative connotation about money here.
If you make money here, it's almost
You're
like
evil.
Or if you care about money, too.
literally.
Like if you
Yeah.
care about making money,
You're evil.
like,
oh, you
why?
don't care about anything. You're a
Yeah.
fucking
why?
this,
So you
you're
don't
that.
care about family, health, love? It's like, bro, there's everything. No, like we can do it all here. No,
And ultimately, like, and PBD said this in our podcast, he, like, because we asked him, like, hey, you speak out a lot, you speak your mind, and how does it affect you? Things like he goes, listen, at the end of the day, the biggest thing is you can put your opinions out online. It's how you put the message out. It's how you convey the message that you want to put out, right? So even if it's not a popular opinion, as long as you convey it properly, you're good to go. So if you can now attaching that to the whole thing of where it's like, okay, I drive these nice cars, I have a nice watch, whatever. And the classic way that people will see you is, oh, this guy's a fucking prick. He's a show off, whatever. But here's the thing. If you pull up with the nice car, with the watch, the jewelry, whatever, and you're just a fucking solid dude, all of that negative, all the negative connotations that they may have had before you opened your mouth are gone. Yeah. Because you came in with that stuff, the nice shit, whatever, but your message was good. Yeah. You were a nice guy. You were a genuine guy.
The energy was different.
The energy was different. It didn't matter if the guy in front of you had $1 to his name or $1 million to his name. You treated him the same.
Yeah.
So again, that's how you convey the message. Yeah, I'm fucking good. I got money, the shirt. I'm rich. But at the end of the day, I'm a solid dude. I'll help you out. I'll work with you. I don't give a fuck. We'll make things happen, right? And again, it just comes back to the way you put the message out. So just circling it back, bro, money is amazing. Money can be amazing. Money can do amazing things for you, for your family, for your friends, the people you love. But it's what you do with it. Yep. Money is an energy exchange.
It's true.
Right? Now, what are you getting out of that exchange? And what are you doing with the energy you got? Right? That's all money is.
And you serve enough people, you get what you want.
Exactly.
That's all.
the fulfillment.
You
That's-
make money because you're helping your clients. If you weren't helping your clients, you could only fake a car for so long.
No,
Exactly.
it's not
The
gonna
payments
work
catch
out.
up to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Something needs to happen, right? And it's
you
like,
need to be doing something right.
yeah, you got to be doing something right.
Yeah,
You
good
gotta be doing
intention.
something right.
It's funny because when you guys are talking about this right now, I'm remembering the time when we were in mom's backyard and you just pulled me to the front and you're like, listen,
Oh,
do you remember
we
that?
fight all the time. Of
That
course
was-
I remember that.
that was
it still pisses me off.
That was one of the biggest breakthroughs I ever had because this guy was just like to me.
I was angry though, but he
was like
getting a
he was
breakthrough.
passionate
Yeah.
though, and
Yeah.
at that time I didn't see it.
Okay.
But I still went with my gut. Long story short, we had a really good investment opportunity for these condos, and this guy's like to me, "You're buying one with me, right?" And I was like, I don't know, but what about this? What if this happens? I had all the excuses in the books. And he's like, come to the back, like come to the front, because we had a family like get together,
Barbecue, and I was
it
about
it
to
a
get loud, and I'm like, I don't want to do
and
that.
he's like, come to the front. He's like, you got to stop worrying about like the what ifs and all these things, and you got to just put your money out there and just use it.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, you know what? All I have is like a line of credit, but like let's just do it, and I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
After a lot of
And-
back and forth and some physical altercation,
Oh yeah.
Bro, come on, we fucking the shit.
It was like it gets heated with
Yeah.
us, but at the same time, obviously, we know like the point that we're able to
No,
go
the
to.
tensions.
But that's
the
love,
you know what I
bro.
mean?
That's
and then
love.
he
That
lost, and
was
then
the
he
real
lost,
love,
and then he lost
exactly.
$100K on the investment.
Then I learned a lesson.
It was for the lesson though. He did it for the lesson.
No,
No,
but
he
seriously,
made a lot of
we've
money,
made
yeah.
we made I made a lot of money on that. Looking back now, I always tell my wife, I'm like, thank God I listened to Matt. Like, if it wasn't for this guy, I don't know what I would be doing in terms of investments and things like that. Because even the first property I ever bought, he was like to me, you just gotta buy it. And I'm like, I don't have money saved. What do you mean? He's like, you just gotta figure it out. And I also bought that one with a line of credit with my wife. We had zero money saved.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those situations where breaking through that mindset was so difficult because
Of course.
we're just so brought up. Oh, if you don't have money, you can't do anything.
Save
Why would you
money.
go into
Save,
debt?
save, yeah.
You have to save the money first. You
pay your
can't go get into
mortgage,
something.
pay your mortgage off.
All these
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
like, it's crazy that it came full circle. Now when I'm talking to people, trying to give them that same talk and
That
advice
same
and
message,
help,
yeah.
I'm passing that on and saying, guys, this is what you need to do, and here's why, and here's how you can do it, and here's how I did
And
it.
here's another
And it
beautiful
worked.
thing about that conversation you guys had, right? That's family, bro.
Yeah.
Like nobody cares more about you than him.
For real.
Seriously, right? And that's something where, you know, even for us, both of our sisters are in the business now as partners. Like we looked at it and we said, who the fuck is going to care about our business as much as we do, maybe even more than our own blood?
Exactly.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And so things got heated. You may have thrown a fucking couple bombs at him. It is what it is, but that's love. That's
So let's
real.
go to the front of the house. By the time we made it to the side, I pushed him against the wall. I'm like, what are you thinking, bro? I was like, yeah.
Tell me now.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm so upset.
But you know what? Usually people just need one of those breaks. After
Yeah,
that,
100%.
after they realize they can win off risking,
Yeah.
they're usually good to do it again on their own.
So
Yeah.
here's the
Yeah.
thing of the way you get, like, this is Matthew on the weekend. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I work, but like sometimes I just want to relax and chill.
Of course.
So I'm in a tracksuit. Comfort. My outfit is always about comfort.
Yep.
That's what fat people say. Until they get in shape. I'll keep it 100. I'm working on it. But, you know, I walked into the sales office and it was a Friday. It was the last house left. And I was like dying to get out of this condo. And I'm like, man, COVID delayed so many new projects and made them more expensive. Like that wasn't part of the plan. So I'm like, I got to get in before things get really hot. Like the writing was on the wall. So it was the last house. I walk in, give the guy my business card. Older guy, he's not on social media, doesn't know anything about Millennial's Choice or whatever. But I'm a broker of record. I know the rules. Like you have to treat everyone fairly. That's just common decency. But I know the rules when it comes to the real estate game. So go in there. I had no money in my account. I got to sell this house that I'm telling you I had to sell. But I'm like ready to buy. He gets up and he goes, okay, so like, we'll see you Monday. Come back Monday. I'm like, no. I'm like, I want the house. I'm ready to buy the house, but I'm not going to sign today because Sarah's not here. She needs to sign. And he's like, well, I don't have my admin here anyway, but like, I got to talk to the builder and Monday is the day, whatever. I'm like, if this house is not here on Monday, because I know the games these in-house
course.
Guys
agents
play,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know them. I know all of them. And I said, if this house is not available on Monday, I go, I promise you're going to have a big problem on your hands with like the Real Estate Council of Ontario.
Yeah.
I've never ever snitched on anyone. I'll just go
Yeah.
on record.
Go on
But
record.
it's the thing is, it's like if you don't treat people right, then I will. Like
No, it's
that
a
house
service
wasn't
though.
there.
Yeah.
Like, and then he goes, well, we want to curate who's in the neighborhood. Okay. So I get a phone. I'm like, okay, so I know what you're saying. You profiled me.
Yeah,
The way
yeah,
I walk,
yeah.
a young guy, he's not going to do this. So anyway, I get a phone call the next day, Saturday. Oh, I asked so-and-so about you and this other realtor. They all know who you are. Please come in today.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're
Yeah.
like, you
Thought
could
it
have
was
sold me
Monday,
the
you
house.
fucking
You
asshole.
were
Yeah.
trying to sell it on the weekend to someone else.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens.
Crazy.
And I don't respect that. Even
Yeah.
though I got the house later, I don't respect that guy.
Yeah.
Because I don't like, you should treat people right.
But we learn
know?
from that kind of stuff. We see
learn
people
from
doing.
that.
We say, bro, we don't
You know,
gotta be like
you
that.
know the
You don't
position.
do that.
You know why they're in
Exactly.
the position they're in.
They're examples for us, you know.
They're all examples,
Yeah,
and it
for
comes
sure.
down. As I said, I share that story because it comes down to the mindset. I was going in there to buy this house without it. I wrote the checks on Saturday. It was my birthday. I wrote the checks, zero money in the account. Because I knew when they were going to cash it, I'm like, I'm going to figure the first 50 G's out the deposit.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to figure it out, but nothing's in there. She's signing the deal. She's putting her name on the deal saying, you sure about this? I'm like, yeah. Like, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Who cares? You
Yeah.
sell the house. You take a loss. What's
Yeah.
the worst that's going to happen? And lucky we did that because then the market just shot up.
Yeah.
Shot up. So there's already equity
Ton of
built
equity.
in.
Yeah.
But that's the mindset. I look at a lot of my leads and a lot of clients, and I tell them, I go, guys, without disclosing too much, you're in a better position than I am. Jump into this one bedroom. Who cares?
Yeah.
Put your money there. It's better than leaving it in the bank.
100%. Yeah.
You're losing it put it in precious metals for all I care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't leave it in the bank because you don't know what's going to happen at the bank. You our minister of finance. I don't think she's the minister of finance anymore, but at the time said during COVID, how are you going to pay back all the money you're printing?
They have no idea.
We're looking at Canadians' savings and we're seeing how much they have. I'm like, what the frick does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean? I don't get what you're saying. It's better you don't keep it in the bank.
Yeah.
Bro, a quick funny story with us is when we bought the house in Miami, we had just enough for the down payment and the closing fees and whatever. Before we bought it, we brought our contractor in, or a couple of them, and we chose this guy. He goes, no, okay, all the work's going to be like roughly $100K US, all the rentals we had to do to the house, put the pool in, do the landscaping, add a bedroom, bathroom, whatever. We had zero of the 100,000 that we needed USD. We had zero of the 100,000 that we needed to do it.
Sign
me
buddy,
up.
boom, sign the contract.
Sounds good,
he goes, okay, yeah, so I'm gonna need the first 30%, 30K USD
in like 20 days or whatever.
Yeah, like, no, not even. It was way. It might have
week.
been a week, maybe 10 days.
It's like 50K Canadian.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So he goes, yeah, I'm gonna need the first deposit, whatever. And he goes, and it's funny because he goes, listen, you guys, I trust you guys. I'm gonna start the work anyways.
We're like, yeah, bro, for sure.
Buddy, I got you no problem. No, it's okay, whatever. So we buy the house, you know, back to $0 in that US account, and then we pretty much look at each other. We go, okay, we got to come up with 30K USD. How the fuck are we?
Yeah,
gonna do this?
we do that a lot.
We
put ourselves in those positions a lot just because like we have confidence in them. Like we go into them confident. We're like, what did you say? 30 G's in a week? Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna agree with you and say it's confidence. I'm gonna go one step further and say because you need to.
Yeah, we have no choice.
That's the
you don't
thing.
have a choice.
But you need to put yourself in that position.
Always.
The second your back is against the wall,
but
you're like, bro, I have no choice.
Well, then,
but how many times you're back against the wall and then all of a sudden you just leveled up because of your back was against the wall?
And you're like, what was I worried about?
Yeah.
Well, dude, it became
like,
a thing of where it was like, okay, all of a sudden we do that. Within a couple of days, we land this massive crypto client who's paying us in fucking USDT, and then so he's making these massive payments to us in USDT, buddy. We're paying our contractor in crypto. Shout out Miami because that was a fucking huge thing in Miami.
Willing to do it.
He goes, yeah, we'll take it, whatever. It's just an extra 2% that we got.
Yeah, because there they have ATMs and shit everywhere, so they can go cash it out at any point.
He goes, done deal, boom. So we send it. We find the 30K USDT, send it to him. Okay, no problem. He goes, all right, in 3 weeks I'm gonna need another 30. Holy fucking shit, bro. He goes, or else I gotta stop working. And then we're like, okay, we're paying the mortgage, and we need to get this thing done, like whatever. And it's just those constant, but if you don't put the pressure on yourself, you never do things you would have never imagined. Like you don't do great things without a great amount of pressure.
I was so scared. Every single purchase I made. That's the approach I take with our business. Like I go, guys, I'm the guy you want to deal with if you're an investor. Like if you're a first time home buyer, talk to Dan.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be more patient, and I'm more of a numbers guy.
You're aggressive. Let's fucking go.
Either you're gonna do it or don't waste my time, please. Respectfully.
Yeah.
These are the numbers. Yes or no. So every single purchase. The worst purchase I ever made was not worse in terms of how much I made on it. Worse in terms of feeling I got, the fear was my first one.
Of course.
And it was the cheapest one. It was the easiest one now that you look back. But you're like, dude, I wasn't even a realtor. I remember there were nights where I'd stay up. I'm like, what is a mortgage? How do I get a mortgage? I'm flipping burgers at Johnny Rockets in Vaughan Mills Mall. I don't know if you guys remember. The old-fashioned diner beside Outdoor World. As waiting tables at the time. And I was also at Lucky Strikes. I used to work two jobs while in university.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the frick am I I have the first 15 grand. Part of it is borrowed money. I said, how do I pay the rest of it? And then how do I get a mortgage in 2 years?
Yeah.
Freaking out. Never even knew there was such a thing as a mortgage broker. I thought you just had to go to the bank.
Yeah, figure it out.
No idea.
Go to TD, just tell them, hey, give me a mortgage.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah,
there were nights I would lose my sleep. I'd be like, I'm worried, whatever. Then I became a realtor. Then I learned
Educated yourself.
Yeah, then I learned. I'm like, why didn't the realtor representing me tell me any of this?
Yeah.
Like, so anyways, I'm learning that process. Then I learned there's a whole nother industry here of like banks and lenders that are happy to give you money.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I ended up getting a B lender mortgage. So my rate was like 4.79 at the time.
Still good.
It's great. And then I refinanced it the next year, paid my whole OSAP off. I never paid a penny in OSAP.
Nice.
And I was just like, this is a big achievement, but now how do I grow?
What's the next step? Yeah.
This office was purchased off of refinancing that townhouse I sold, the second one.
Amazing.
It's all a game, bro.
Oh,
Welcome to Monopoly, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just about like understanding that what money is, like really what it is.
And you can't be scared of it. Exactly.
No, it's a tool.
It's a tool.
Well, you know what? Like it's how you grow up too. If you're in an environment where most of our parents, I'm pretty sure all of them took a fucking boat to get here, so they looked at money differently, and we grew up kind of taking that energy from them. Hey, save some money. Hey, what are we doing? Got to spend. You ordered dinners on a Friday night, so you know what I mean. Things like that, where you're looking at it like fuck, like okay, I didn't get new clothes, I didn't get new shoes, like maybe money's like one of those things where you got to just get what you can get and save the rest, right?
Yeah.
So I think our generation has been brought up with that energy. It's not our parents' fault.
We're in between.
Yeah.
We're in between of we want to be lavish, but we're afraid to be lavish.
Right.
sometimes.
Well, we have
Yeah.
that middle ground where
Yeah.
we're coming up in a generation that's very modern. You get to see the whole world. You see the guy in Dubai in his fucking penthouse.
But the guy's doing donuts in his Lamborghini
But
in the
we're
desert.
still-
I'm like,
We're still mixed in
Bro.
with like the old times where it's like, okay, but we saw our parents and their struggle, and you know,
at any
like-
at any moment we can lose it, and we're
You can
we're
lose it.
worried,
So-
you know, yeah.
I think we were brought up with that good mindset, but a lot of younger people need to break out of that.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. Sometimes your mom doesn't know what's best. Your dad,
My mom,
they're just doing what's best for you at the time.
I had a realtor come to the house out of just pure respect, and I had him to come to the house out of pure respect to my mom, and I said, show us this project that I found in Richmond Hill, Young and 16th, and he shows me the project and everything like that, and this is before I bought my first condo, and he goes, so what do you think about it? I go, I'm gonna think about it and let you know. He leaves. I go, Mom, what do you think about it? It's not like she's pitching in or anything. Just out of like we're very family oriented. We want to make sure you get the blessing. She goes, no, save your money, let it build. So I didn't buy there. And a month later, this guy is like, he was one of those realtors where he wanted you to know that you screwed
You
up.
fucked up. Yeah,
Yeah.
he came back to tell you.
He came back to tell me, he's like, oh, the prices went up 20 G's in 1 month and whatever. And I'm like, I was only going to invest 15. Like that was more than 100% ROI. And I said, so I got so mad, it lit a fire under me that I found the condo that I bought. I bought it with a realtor, and then I ended up buying it from the company we joined and we worked with for a long time. And I was just like, that was it. And I never told my parents about it until I signed the deal.
Yeah, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Done.
I came home, my mom started freaking out. She thinks that's what I learned more about my parents, right? Because I'm like, okay, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I got to learn like what to do, what not to do from them.
Yeah.
And I learned why she's like that. And I learned why they're like that. And I'm like, oh, you lost everything.
Yeah.
Coming here. Of course.
Yeah.
Your career, your family, your home, all these things. You're just afraid that I might lose that, but you're also afraid of losing me
Yeah.
if I move out and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, okay, once
There's
I
a
was
lot of
aware
attachment,
that,
like,
yeah.
but there's a lot of attachment.
I think when I think about our parents or even our grandparents, depends on people, second generation, coming here, they came to Canada, they came to Toronto, not even with a picture. They had no idea what it looked like here, with literally dollars in their pockets, maybe 5 t-shirts. That's all they owned, and they came here, to give us a better life, a better chance, right? Our parents or us, right? The way I look at it is like, I feel like we're almost doing them a disservice if we don't take these risks,
Big time.
right?
Yeah.
Like when we're making the move to Miami full time, that's where we're gonna live. Like I'm doing that because now I'm looking and saying I want to give my kids and maybe their kids a better chance than I had, and I had a great one. Don't get me wrong, but if I can give my offspring and their offspring an even better opportunity, why wouldn't I? I'm a fucking pussy. Sorry for a lack of better words. I'm a fucking pussy if I don't take that jump and take that risk. I'm doing my parents a disservice. I'm doing my future bloodline a disservice. Come on. But then that's the problem. Again, we've been so blessed here. Life has been so easy in Canada, and then more specifically Toronto and the GTA, that we're not accustomed to taking risks. We've never had to.
We don't like to.
We don't like to.
Even when it comes to like challenging policy.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, but no, like, stay
but
quiet.
everything's been good.
Everything's
Yeah,
fine.
keep your job. You don't want to
And
screw up with your job.
I said this the other day. I said the only reason that people aren't on the streets here is people are still comfortable.
Yes.
I go, people are still dining. People are still, now it's summertime. All the nice cars are coming out.
Yeah, all the patios.
Wait till
all the
October
fucking-
again. Yeah, then you wait till
Yeah.
the depression season again.
Winter's coming. And it's like,
winter's coming.
It's
Yeah.
like, and then at what point do you say enough is enough?
Yeah.
At what point do you say this shit's too expensive? Food shouldn't be this expensive. Gas shouldn't be, housing shouldn't be this expensive.
Crazy.
And you don't have to take away from those who have it to build it. It's like,
Yeah.
we are one of the richest countries in terms of natural resources.
Yep.
We have
don't
the
use
most-
it. We don't use it
We
though.
give it all away.
Yeah.
We don't even develop
No.
most of our land. Our
No.
land is locked for, you're putting the rights of trees over the rights of humans. And it's like, the answer is not to take away from the rich. The
Yeah.
answer is to deal with this red tape that we have.
Yeah.
Or like you cancel this pipeline that's from here to the
Yep.
US. You cancel it.
Would have made us a ton of money.
Ton of money, cheap gas, all
Jobs,
this stuff,
everything.
jobs. And then meanwhile, you're importing it from Italy and they're getting it from Russia. You just don't want to import it from Russia because we're in a war. And it's like all this bullshit that you're like,
It's drama, bro. It's literally like
it's
drama.
literally drama.
We
High
have
school
so
drama.
It's a fucking soap opera.
We have tax dollars going towards Toronto branded crack pipes.
Yeah, you seen those?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's I just seen that. They're literally branding crack pipes with the Toronto brand on it.
Like the logo, beautiful, nice.
And,
Toronto Health.
and meanwhile, you have
Let's do
veterans
some crack.
that can't get paid properly. People who work hard can't afford to ever own a home. Their kids will never own a home. They can't eat properly. Food banks are something like up 300% in terms of
Dude, I passed the
people
food
that
bank the other day. There's just normal people in line.
that's
It's not
crazy.
homeless people. It's like people like that just left work at lunch and came there
To grab
a
some
student,
food.
That's messed up.
families, like people, but like they don't look
It's true.
homeless.
You go get a burger. You go to Five to get a burger from Five Guys. $17.
$17.
Like
Like,
for what?
I'm like, what?
So
just a burger.
doesn't make sense.
So you look and you
no
say,
drink either.
so you look and you say, circle it back, like you said, we're too comfortable right now. They made it too easy. We need hell. We need a fucking civil war. We need something for people to wake up and say, we're fucked. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I was at the
This
post
can't
office.
keep going on.
I was at the post office yesterday, and some lady dropped her box. So obviously, naturally, I'm like gonna go reach for it. But there's a lady behind her who I see doing that. But she drops her glasses too, and the lady that's helping her, I'm just watching this, goes down to pick up her glasses, but doesn't pick them up. Looks at her and goes, "Is it okay if I pick them up for you?"
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like,
Here we
bro,
go.
I'm like hitting my head on
Yeah,
the mic.
here
I'm
we
like,
go.
Bro,
Here we
I'm like,
fucking go.
pick up the damn glasses. Like
Yeah.
I was
Oh my
about to go
God.
get them.
that's like the tension within the people here, right?
But do you
like,
see how much
like when
tension
you're
we
okay,
have?
so for example, when you're in Florida, for example, and you're walking around, you could be in Naples, Fort Lauderdale, wherever you are, South Beach. You're walking around on the sidewalk with your head up, smiling at people. Hey, how are you? Walk by someone, have a good day, whatever.
Yeah.
Here, it's like this. When you're walking by someone,
They cross the street.
bro, don't
Yeah.
even look at me.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't look, eh?
Bro,
You're not looking, I'm not looking, eh? Okay.
the craziest one
That's the tension here, right? That's from the last couple of years, but it's everything, the weather, this and that. When you have 3 years of lockdown in the winter, bro, you're gonna turn people into
the
fucking
craziest one I
zombies.
always think about was like, I remember being a kid, like lived in a good, like pocket of homes, and our doors were unlocked.
Yeah, you
never
leave
had
your
to
bike
worry.
on the driveway.
You liked your neighbor. Hey, Joe. Hey, Maria. How are you? Oh, come over for lunch. Oh, they'd invite us over. Me and my sister, 2 little kids. Oh, come eat. You want to? Oh, bello. You want to eat? No problem. Bro, now it's like you move in. Fuck you didn't even know who they are. Fuck my neighbors.
I'm gonna bang on the fucking.
Fuck these guys. I don't even want to look at them. No, I hate that guy. It's like, you don't even know that person.
Yeah.
And we've been trained to
So
like,
sad.
and over the last 3 years, they've made us hate each other.
Yeah.
I still, when I go to my
So
parents' house,
messed
I don't know if they're home or not. First thing I do is I check if the door's open.
Yeah. Same.
Then I don't bring my key, and I'm like, shit. Now I gotta go to the car, get
Yeah.
the key, unlock it.
Because
Yeah.
you're so used to it being the other way where we loved each other.
I think everyone's just gotta keep their head up, smile at someone,
smile at
smile,
somebody, yeah.
wave at someone, say hi, how you doing, how's your day going? You walk by someone in the hallway, say it's another fucking human being.
Ernesto, the problem is, bro, now you make 150 G's. It doesn't get you nowhere.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
sad is that?
Yeah.
My
I
buddy's
know.
a doctor. He's from here. He's my best friend.
Yeah.
He lives in Michigan now.
Yeah.
He's like, I live in Michigan because the border's right there.
Yeah.
He's like, I can buy the house you have for like $500K.
Yeah.
And I earn more because it's USD.
Yeah.
And then I come here and I could live a better life. He's like, I come in Canada. He's like, I might earn the same salary,
But you can't do anything
he's
with
like,
it.
what does it get?
It's
me?
worth
No.
less. Yeah.
I'm like,
But that was like that
bro, I
post
don't
that went
blame
out
you.
about all the Indians coming here right now. There's so many. There's hundreds of thousands of people from India coming here. I'm sure you guys are aware.
Oh, we've noticed. Yeah.
You're aware, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they asked some guys, and I actually had an experience with one. I remember I had to tow my truck up to Range Rover once, and it was an Indian tow truck driver, and this all the same story. Like my age, 29, 30. He goes, I came here for a better life. It's a worse fucking life.
All you have to do
He's
is
like,
work.
I came here to make money so I can make a lot of money and then go back to India, right? Or send it back. I can't save money here.
Like, you came too north, buddy. You have
Right?
to-
And that was the same post Six Buzz did about all the Uber Eats guys outside McDonald's. They're saying the same thing. They were talking to one of the guys. Guys, we came here for a better life. It's fucking worse.
I saw that.
Sold us fake dreams. They said we would have this. We're trying to work 20 hours a day just to survive here.
I know.
They
So
gotta
they're
go
going
to,
back.
they gotta go to America, buddy.
That's a problem though, right? Like those guys are coming here expecting to make a living and actually prosper with their families, but
course,
it's
but
actually
they're
the
not.
opposite. It's
The
harder.
opposite.
They're getting sold a dream and then they're showing up and they're realizing very quickly that it's not what they thought, right? And
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
And then you go to Europe and you're like trying to get lunch at like 1 or 2, everyone's closed after lunch.
Okay, the problem with Europe is that nobody works at all. They don't work.
That's the other extreme.
That's the other thing. Listen, everything's cheap there. Like Italy, I'll speak on Italy's behalf for sure. Everything's cheap as hell if you're not in like Milano or Rome, the big 2 cities. Anywhere else, bro, you can eat all day. You can go out, eat, drink. You're spending $10 all day. Yeah. But again, you're probably making $10 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's only that a limit. Like we go there for vacation.
You're not going to go there and live. You're going to
when you go there to live, it's like,
or if you go there and live, that means that you maybe made a lot of money somewhere else, sold some companies, and now you're pulling up.
Or you're just okay to fucking chill.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. But that's a completely different. But here they're selling people on this fake dream right now. You know, and people are buying into it.
They want universal basic income.
UBI.
I think a lot of people right now, guys, are just running on credit.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to run out. I think it's going to run out.
100%.
And they don't give a shit about destroying their credit. They just want to
It's
try
day
to
by
live
day.
the
They're
lifestyle.
just living day by day.
That's
how
exactly
people
what
are.
it is. But that's not going to last forever, right?
That's
So-
how I'm feeling here. It's like any day, anything can anything can end. Everything can end one day. People are living like life is about to end. The world's gonna end. That's how they're living day to day.
And what bothers me is like we work so hard and we do our best and we make so many sacrifices that why should I allow the collapse of the many who were not smart about what they were doing and kind of bought into all the bull and really went along with it. They didn't do anything to try to make it better either. Like why should I suffer? For that. Like I'm not saying I'm lucky. I'm not saying whatever. Put in work.
Yeah.
But like I don't want that.
Well, I think a lot of people are thinking that right now.
Yeah,
That's
like
why
I don't
people
want
are leaving.
Yeah.
People are bringing their businesses elsewhere, Texas, Arizona, Florida, because they have to. They're saying we've done all this shit to make all this money.
Yeah.
For what? For a society that doesn't care, for a government that doesn't care, for what? People that don't have their own control, self-control. They can't make their own. I'm gonna be there.
And now you worry about the US dollar collapsing.
Yeah.
And you're like, if that collapse, where do I go? And now you're looking at Abu Dhabi.
I think ultimately you have to remember the news. They just want everybody living in fear. So they'll always they never put anything good on the news. They'll always put the negativity. But in terms of going to war, like a lot of people are like, oh, why are you guys picking up and leaving Canada? And why you want to move there? You got to stay here and fight. I'll go to war for people that would go to war for me. And when 2020 came around in 2021, I realized 90% of the people wouldn't go to war for me. I learned that very quickly.
They would actually go against.
They were they were against me. So why am I going to go to war for the people that hated me?
Yeah.
That thought I was the fucking problem. When all I wanted to do was go to war for them. All the messaging, everything I said, any opinion I put out was for the greater good. Turns out, fucking 2023, fact check it, we were all fucking right.
Yeah.
You should be fucking thanking us, bro, and we'll never get it, and that's fine.
You'll never get it.
I'll never get it, and that's fine, and I don't expect it. But at the end of the day, I won't go to war for people that were literally, saying I should be dead.
Well,
what
I wanted, and what I wanted was more like just acknowledge that you made a mistake.
It's not gonna happen.
The information that you were given was wrong.
Yeah.
Now that it's out there.
Yeah.
And can't you just do that? Just do that.
No,
So
it's
not even like
society
never
can get
happen.
better.
not even like, hey, Ann.
No.
Hey, Matt, you were right.
You don't ever have to admit it.
I was wrong.
No, that's even worse. You're not gonna
You
get
never
that.
have
That's
to.
for
You
sure.
never have to admit it. Just do it to yourself in terms of, you know what? I bought into something I shouldn't have bought into.
Remember what he was saying? Stand in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
Stand in front of the fucking mirror and go, damn, I was bamboozled. I trusted these guys and they fucking lied to me tooth and nail.
Society just completely changed overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight.
We could rip a whole other pod about that.
Life change.
Yeah. For real.
What time are we? How long have we been on, guys? Woo! 2
Oh,
hours
wow.
and 10 minutes? Doesn't feel like it.
I know. That was
No.
crazy.
I want to ask
We're
you guys,
for a rip.
I want to let you guys go. I know you guys have a lot of things,
of course,
but
bro. We're chilling.
yeah,
We're going nuts right now.
I want to ask you guys something. You guys always ask other people, does
Yeah.
money buy happiness?
Oh, you want to go first? You want me to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes.
It does. For me, it's pretty simple. You define what happiness would mean to you, and if money can buy it, the answer is yes.
That's it.
Yeah, I think it's like we were saying earlier. It's an exchange of energy. That's what money is, right? So, I like to say it's just from hearing so many different people and their perspectives on it. I think it's a 2-pronged approach. First thing is, how do you make the money? Do you enjoy the way you make the money? That's the first thing. Because if you're doing something you love, podcasting, real estate, whatever, speaking engagements, whatever it is, and you truly love that, you're passionate about it, when the money comes in, the money's even greener when it comes in, because you go, fuck, the way I made it, I loved how I made it.
Yeah.
And I'm having a great time doing it. And I want to continue doing it this way. The second part of the two-pronged approach is what you do with the money. You're going to spend it on bullshit. You're going to spend it on bottles at the club every weekend, and you fucking, put toxic bullshit into your body and do drugs and act like an idiot and do stupid shit. It's not going to make you happy. But you give your parents money. You put your family onto, other investments, ways they can make more money. You spend it on the watch you've always wanted. You're able to have your son in a fucking secure home where you feel safe, that he's in the best place he can be. That's what's going to make you buy the fucking office. That's going to make you happy. So yeah, ultimately, money does buy happiness. How you make it and how you spend it. Those are the two big points that I think need to be addressed when asked that question.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, if you ask me that question, I'll say, I'll put it to you this way. If I was poor, I'd be miserable.
Yeah.
That's how I
Straight up, bro.
Like, don't tell me there's poor people that are so happy and there's rich people that are miserable. Yes, there's rich people that are miserable.
Yeah.
But don't tell me for 1 second.
No, it's not the real. Yeah.
Someone's happy being poor.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Listen, maybe
They're both
way.
extremes.
Maybe in a fucking third world country where money doesn't really matter because they're just getting by day to day, and there's that certain mentality. But we live in Toronto. We live in the Western, the Western civilization, Canada, United States, whatever. Money matters here.
Oh, for sure. Matter.
So yeah, if you're fucking broke, you're fucking miserable. The second you can remove having to worry about how you're going to pay your bills, you've already leveled up in terms of happiness.
Oh, exactly.
Then you can move to the next step of doing shit you like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's like you guys have neighborhood, and that's building a foundation for you guys on the marketing side, and then your podcast is a whole nother leg that you guys are building up. And it's you're building the foundation. So even for me, it's like, okay, where's my foundation? My foundation was my real estate stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now I'm willing to move some things around to generate the money, not to go buy a Lamborghini, but so that I could invest in more in my YouTube channel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Invest in more in my business, my family. We were just talking about this yesterday for an hour, right? And it's like, you want to do that, but it took a while to get to that foundation point.
Of course.
I started 19, I was licensed, and I bought the property. I'm turning 32.
Yeah.
Like, it was a long time in the 20s where the years you're like, you should be partying and having fun.
Yeah,
you do
that's
a little
all
bit
bullshit,
of it. You
though.
do a
That's
little
all
bit of
bullshit.
it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you realize you're like, man, I wasted so much time.
Yeah, but listen, you
Yeah.
obviously learned lessons by doing those things.
Yeah.
And that was all a part of your journey, right? Everyone's is different.
Yeah.
But there's no right or wrong way to do your 20s. That's why I hate. That's the one thing I hate about a lot of these influencers and these motivational guys is 20s you do this, 30s you do that. Nah, bro, that's all fucking bullshit. You have your own path. You're going to figure it out at whatever time you figure it out. Yeah, could you have done things a little bit sooner? 100%. But if you're looking back on all the things you could have done, you're never actually looking at what you can do.
The only advice I give persons is just only because I just had the kid. And one thing that I was always putting in my head was, okay, 31, 32, I'm going to get married. I'll be more established.
Yeah.
And then 33, 34, start having kids. Bang them all out. Time,
like
right?
you had this whole plan.
This whole plan.
Blueprint, yeah.
But then you come to the realization that you'll never be ready.
Yeah.
And
Facts,
it's like, okay, I one time, I was 29 years old when I proposed, and I'm like, just why wouldn't I?
yeah.
Like, just why wouldn't I? What's been holding me back?
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's the woman you're gonna be
Yeah,
with forever, what's the
what
difference
was-
at 29 to 31?
wait.
It's all the same.
And then at 29, that realization was there. So I proposed. And then now we had the kid at 31. So my timeline moved up like 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
And then I'm just like, the only advice that I give is that don't wait from the perspective of, I want to be more established in my career.
Yeah.
Or in my job. Because if it's the right partner,
Yeah.
you're going to establish that together.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll make it work.
So before we ended up, we haven't traveled anywhere to record a pod, but we want to.
yeah.
We're making plans.
That's cool.
Before the baby came,
Yeah.
we talked. Sarah
Yeah.
and I always talk. I'm like, Sarah, how would you feel about this? Would you rather bring the kid?
Yeah.
Would you rather I go alone? Would you rather just Danny and I go? Or what do you prefer? Would you be comfortable bringing the kid? And she's really good she's always in daycare, and she was a social worker and all that stuff. She's like, no, what do you mean? We'll bring the kid. I'm like, cool. Family vacation plus business.
Yeah,
I
there
love
you go.
it.
All in
Beautiful.
one.
Yeah.
Done.
It's the 2-in-1 special. Yeah.
Perfect.
Then
Yeah.
you got to now think of, all right, how do I make them more comfortable?
Yeah.
Put them on first class.
Yeah.
Stay at a better hotel.
Richardi just said this when we
Yeah.
sat down with Richardi. He said the same thing. We go, how's business been now that you have a son, whatever? And he goes, bro, now I just stay in nicer places.
Yeah.
I fly in better planes, like whatever, because he's like, not because I want to be a shooter and this and that. He goes, because now I bring my family. I want them to be comfortable. Right. And you adapt. You just have to adapt. Right now, I'm with you. I used to think like, oh, I need to be a certain age, and a certain, established at a certain point before I have a kid. And then now looking back at the last a year, 2 years of my life, how we've been operating our business and the way we're growing it and how we're sort of doing it, I go, I'm fucking ready. Who cares, bro?
Yeah, because next year you're gonna see all these challenges that you're gonna say, now I need to level up
I need
this way.
I need to.
It's like
It
you'll never
ends.
be ready.
That never ends.
It never
No,
ends.
Yeah, that never ends.
It
Yeah.
never ends.
You just need the right partner. I think that's the key point.
Nowadays, for sure.
Well, for
sure. You gotta
and
be
they're not as easy to come across. Yeah.
Just go to church, boys.
Yeah.
Go to a
We
Christian
ended on
church.
that, buddy. We're going to fucking church. No?
Go to church.
Yo,
This is awesome, guys.
yeah.
I
Thank you,
love
boys.
it.
Thank you for having
No,
us.
thanks for
real.
coming.
Thank you guys for being on.
No,
And,
yeah.
guys, make sure you like and smash that like button.
That's it.
subscribe.
I was gonna say, you want? Should I do the outro?
Do the outro, bro. Do the outro.
All right, guys, listen. If you've made it this far, and I know you have, because this was a huge pod, okay? We love you guys. Thank you so much. The Millennials Choice Show. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Like the video if you're listening. Leave us a 5-star review. Comment. Get the fucking algo going. You'll see this all over IG. Show us love. You know what I mean? Get the engagement going. Guys, thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming
Thanks,
on.
man.
Been a pleasure.
Appreciate it, guys.
And we are out.